And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got cash for deportations. Hey, $1,000, free flight back to the house. You won't have to get arrested. You won't have to come and find you, knock you upside the head, all this, that, and the third. We'll just deport you easily. It won't be a problem. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, you got Joe Biden coming out for his very first interview ever since losing the election. He looks old as old could be. Good grief. Imagine if this guy was to be the president still. Thank God he's not. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Trump had to educate Kristen Welker of MS-13 DNC, or excuse me, NBC, as it relates to the tariffs, because that's a big thing. Oh, the tariffs are going to kill the economy, the tariffs this, tariffs that. He had to educate her on what the tariffs are really about, plus a lot more. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Charlamagne, you support slavery, bro? Is that what we doing? You want to build a place for the migrants to work for a very, 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 very low price, or sometimes no price, because it's easy to just not pay a migrant and get away with it. But that's the exact same thing that a plantation was. So what are we talking about? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, I got a lot of clips. I got a lot of videos. I have a lot of interesting topics to talk about tonight on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot I got to talk about. There's a whole lot of topics, whole lot of things I want to get into, whole lot of videos. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best. I appreciate y'all supporting. Some of the videos, I might be a little on the edge. People are like, oh, I don't know about this one, but thank y'all for supporting those. I really, really appreciate you. And, you know, I'm always, one thing about me, I'm gonna always give you guys the honest truth. Whether everyone likes it or not, doesn't even matter. The truth is the truth, regardless. Some guys, I think they spend a lot of time trying to do what they think people will like, rather than just following what the truth is. Follow the truth, it will never be a problem. Because guys get caught up. Okay, you followed one thing because you thought that's what people wanted. Now you got to follow the next thing because they want that. And if you don't follow that, it's like, hey, why didn't you follow that? You're being inconsistent. You followed this one thing over here, but what about that over there and that over there? It's never going to end. And you got to basically keep up a charade, a facade, a charade. You got to keep that going on. I'm going to always lead with the truth. So never you worry about me doing something because someone wanted me to, or because I think someone would want me to. I'm going to always give you guys the truth. Love it or hate it, it's going to be what it is. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Nah, I ain't talking about nobody in particular, but y'all know everybody got a pair of eyes and ears, and you guys, what I like most about y'all is that you're very smart. You're very smart. I read a lot of your comments and your emails, and you guys help me improve and sharpen my brain. So I appreciate y'all for just being smart and being who you are. And one thing I know about smart people is that you can't fool them. You might be able to fool them sometime, but you can't fool them all the time. And I would never try to do that anyway, because it would be no purpose, because that's not how I operate. So I think it's a good relationship. Smart people talking amongst themselves about things that are going on, sometimes agree, disagree. It doesn't really. Now, Made in Japan, we're going to get to the calls at about 10-ish, so in about a couple more hours. When the phone lines are available, I will let you guys know, but not right now. Okay, not right now. And Napu says, opinion on statue in New York City. Oh, bro, we're going to get to it. Oh, I got that clip already ready lined up. It's already over here in my tabs. Okay, in my series of tabs. Look, I'm going to just show you what I got. You see all those at the top? That's tabs. Okay, so in my series of tabs, I already got it ready to rock. So don't even worry about it. Okay, don't even worry about it. It's good to go. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. No sound. Hold on. Okay, I gotta let me know. Is there no sound? Wait. Let's just, okay, sound here, and the sound here. I'm seeing it on my mixer. I'm seeing it on the actual screen. Okay, so some say you can hear me, some say you can't. If you can't hear me, they say a sound going in and out. All right. Let's just pause for a second. Let's pause for a second because we've been here before with the sound issues. Is the sound going in and out? Yay or nay? Y'all let me know. Because you say it sounds good, it's good. You had to reopen. Okay, so what I want y'all to do is do the refresh. Refresh your screen, whether you're on PC, your iPad, your phone, whatever. Refresh, and you should be good. James says, I'm coming in 100%. Sound is fine. Okay. Yeah, leave and come back. Okay, so we're good. We're good. All righty. Cool. Perfect. I got a little nervous. I'm like, wait a minute now. Let's not have no malfunctions. Let's not have no janky streaming. No struggle streaming. Shout out lead attorney. We don't want no struggle streaming on this Wednesday evening. That ain't what we need. Yeah. Refresh your Obama phone. That's right, Iron Shell. Refresh the Obama phone and you can get the sound back. I'm just playing. I am just playing. So again, if you're having problems with the audio, if it's cutting in and out, if you're not able to hear it, give me a refresh. All right. Hold on. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at it on mine and I'm going to see. Just playing. I am just playing. So again, if you're having problems with the audio, if it's cutting in and out, sounds good to me. So listen, refresh the Obama phone. You could be good to go. But again, shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got quite a bit to discuss. Dina says, great work. Hugs from Korea. Shout out to Korea. Okay, we international in ABL Live. So I'm talking about, we got fans all over the world. We got a community all over the world. So shout out to you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Do the closed captions work, Mr. Rich? I feel like sometimes they might not really get my voice, but sometimes they do. The automatic captions. Okay, you have Midco at home. What is that? Is that an internet service provider? Y'all let me know. Okay, hold on. Kerry Cree says T-Mobile home internet was sucking this week, but that's the internet connection, not the video. Okay. Yeah, some internet, all internet is not the same, I would suppose. My internet out where I live, we got EPB, the best in the country, literally. We have the gigabit internet for like a low amount of money. What's it like? $68 a month for a gigabit up, down? Our speed is crazy. The reliability is crazy. It's something else. It's something to behold. All right. Now that's part of the reason why I don't really want to leave this area. Part of the reason that has kept me here is that beautiful internet. All righty. Miss Holmes says, I got an iPhone, but I restarted the podcast. Sounds great now. There we go. All righty. So yeah, shout out to the iPhone gang. Yeah, EPB, David. Yep. That's the name of it. It's an electricity company and they provide internet. So you pay just your electricity bill and your internet on one spot. They also do TV, but I don't need TV. I didn't realize how much out of the loop I was by not watching TV for the past. I've not watched TV for 20 years. I would say 20 years. I would say I stopped watching TV when I was in my 20s. So maybe even like early, like 21, 22. So it's been almost 20 years since I stopped watching TV. A lot of the shows y'all seen, I've never seen before. So yeah, I had no idea I was out of the loop like that, but I got the interwebs. All righty. We got a whole lot going on. We're going to get to it. Shout out to you guys again for being here. Shout out to all of course, you guys for watching. I couldn't do it without you. Shout out to the sponsors. Y'all know who you are. Of course, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. You can go to the website. You can get all your best news, information, all of that good stuff right there on patriotpost.us. The link will always be in the box. I messed that ad read up because I got a little bit distracted, but it's fine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. That's better. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the Novaks, the 1776. We got t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it on out right now. There might be some links up under the video for merch right here. And if it's not, that's fine. Just go to the website. It'll be a link in the box, or ablmerch.com right in your browser. Also, please go to anthonyblogan.com. Go to the front page of my website, my regular website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I'll have a summary of what's going on. I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it. It'll be right there on the website's front page, anthonyblogan.com. Again, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You guys say you want a 1984 hat? I got you. It's right there on the website. It's right there on the website. No problem. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick on ABL merch. Yeah, there we go. It's right here. See, look. 1984 trucker hat right there. Boom. Okay, so go ahead. And I got some more colors too. I got this green one. Do I have the green one? I'm not sure if I do. But I think I'm going to do a green one. But right now we got the white, we got the navy blue, and we got the black right there on the site. Easy. So go to ablmerch.com and get your 1984 hat. Alrighty. But also, go to the contact page of my regular website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my SNIM address, my UPS box, of course, my social media links, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And shout out to the Facebookers. You guys are really, really supportive. My videos are doing very well. The videos on Facebook are getting as many views as my YouTube videos. And it's crazy because I've only recently started to be consistent on Facebook uploading. So I think I've been able to find a new audience over there. So shout out to you guys who came from the Facebooks. I appreciate y'all. But if you're not over there, if you spend time on the Facebooks, check me out. Also on Instagram, I do a weekly live Instagram exclusive Tuesdays. I think I'm going to do Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on Instagram. I'll be live. I'll bring some of you guys on. I did the stream last night with some of you guys, and it was weird because, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, you got to tighten up. Because I'm doing my live stream, right? And as I'm streaming and I bring people on, I can't see them. I can hear them, but I can't see them. You know how it is. It's normally split screen between you and the other person. All I could see was just my face, but I couldn't see them, but I could hear them. So then when I look back on it, it was like you couldn't even see you couldn't even see above my nose when they would come on. You just saw like this area right here. It was weird, but we're going to most certainly work on that. Again, Instagram Live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusive to Instagram. I'll be live on there talking about whatever, and you guys are able to come on through the audio and the video. Okay, which we can do that over here, but it's a little bit more of a personal situation over on Instagram. But anyway, check me out on all those platforms. And always, 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 always double check if you are conversing with the real ABL on the interwebs or not. We all know the scams. Okay, now Nigeria and Dota to come take your monies. We don't want that guy. We don't want Vladimir Putin. We don't want, if he dies, he dies. We don't want no Eastern European, somebody from Slovenia, Belarus, Moldova, Transnistria. We're not trying to get one of these guys with a bunch of chest hair coming through the top of his silk shirt, scamming us for all of our hard-earned money on the interwebs through a fake comment, through a fake email, through a fake text message. We don't want that to be happening. So please, please, please protect yourself from scammers claiming to be ABL. And the best way you could do that is going to the website, going to the contact page, and looking at my method of communication. All righty. Is it one of those social media links? Is it my actual contact at anthonyblogan.com email? No. If it's not, then it's not me. Don't get scammed, because if you email me talking about, I thought I could trust you, I'm sorry, it's not me. So don't blame me. Blame the white man. And again, for you guys just coming in, if the sound is messed up, please refresh your screen and it should be good to go. Okay. Thank you, Sheree. See, Sheree's on it. Sheree, hey, shout out to Sheree. Hey, Sheree's right on it. It's like, look, you know what you got to do. Here are the rules. All righty. Mr. Rich says ABL wanting the Target gift card wasn't real. It was not real. It was not real. ABL, I'm not going to ask you for a Target gift card, okay? All I'm going to ask is you just like, comment, share, subscribe. I ain't going to ask you for nothing else. And if you want to donate some monies, we got links and whatnot or right here on the video. Don't be calling no 18-digit WhatsApp number, getting some dude in River State, Nigeria, to take all your hard-earned money that you didn't work your whole life for. All righty. Let's not even have that go on. All righty. So look, we got some clips here. Now, this guy, man, oh man, why would you abdicate the throne? Why would you? Well, he wasn't ever really going to be the king, but still, you're part of the royal family. So I think what you did here was like an abdication, because you could have been part of the whole family just doing that over there, but you wanted to be over here dealing with this, bro. So again, here's Prince Harry and Meg.
Like, I curtsied as though I was like, pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Like, was that okay?
The face right here tells you all you need to know. Listen, your husband is literally part of British royalty, a bloodline. How long has that bloodline been going on? 1,000 years or more? I mean, you're talking about an historical part of this world your husband is part of, and it's a little bit too much for you to do a curtsy to meet the Queen of England. See, I see why she didn't like you and why the majority of us don't like you. Look, if I was Meg and I married royalty, I know that whatever kind of duties and customs they want me to do, I got to do it. And if I don't want to do it, you know what? I could work at Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King. I don't got to do no curtsying. All I got to do is take this basket of fries and dip them in the oil. So, bro, I feel for you, man. I see your face. I see your anguish, but you did it to yourself, man. So accountability. It sucks, but it is what it is. All right. Now, speaking of UK, now, I don't know where this is specifically in UK. If it's a neighborhood in London, some kind of random place that's known to be kind of rough, but look at this. This is UK. So we got a lot going on. First of all, we got all kind of garbage on the ground. I'm not sure what kind of animal that is. I hope it's a chicken or something basic, right? I hope it's a chicken or something basic, but it looks to be a little bit more complex. Like it's got a few more limbs and stuff like this than the regular chicken. That might be a deer. I don't know what that is. A fawn. They didn't cook bammy out there on a makeshift spit in the middle of the street. Well, actually not in the middle of the street, kind of like in the gutter, right? So I don't know exactly what that is, but I'm going to just go out on the limb and say it might not be the best thing to eat. Okay, it might not be the best thing to eat. It kind of reminds me of some of that Indian street. Have you guys seen them Indian street food videos? Now, look, shout out to the Indians. The actual, like, prepared food in the real kitchen is great. That the tandoori naan bread with some of that curry. Oh, beautiful. Indian food prepared properly is great. But some of that street stuff, man, I don't know how y'all make it. Y'all got to have stomachs made of iron. Your stomach must be lined with titanium to be able to handle what they got going on over there. Okay, yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. Is it Kensington? Nah, that ain't the United States. I don't believe. If it was Kensington, it wouldn't be none of that going on. It wouldn't be no music, and everybody would be, you know how they hung, bent over, strung out, hungover. That'd be them in Kensington because that ain't nothing but a drug market. Over there, they were just having a little get together with something on the spit, some kind of animal or animals on the spit. It went. I think it's cats and dogs, probably neighborhood pets that got put on the spit. They're eating the dogs. Paul Kennan, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They sure are right there on the street with regular office furniture and stuff like that outside chilling. Now, let's go back to the United States. Speaking about the USA. Okay, this is San Francisco. Now, what if you see this walking down the street? And do you think this is going to be the thing? Will this be the trend going forward? Let's watch.
This shit is crazy. The world is coming to an end.
Hey, look, you know what? Us 80s babies and before, if you were born in the 80s and before, all of this right here, we saw in movies coming up. Terminator, RoboCop, all of that. Okay, Sarah Connor would never be out there hanging out with the droids. Okay, because we know what's going to happen or what could happen. All you got to do is put an advanced AI in that robot. Now we got the Matrix, we got Terminator, Judge Dredd, all of that going on. And the question will be, will they be benevolent to us if they get to a higher level of consciousness, or will they decide that we're the problem and wipe us out? What are they going to do? Or like, am I just exaggerating? Am I just relying on fantasy from movies I saw as a child? What do y'all think? Will AI be a net benefit, or will it be our demise? Y'all let me know. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of movies, that was the whole plot. AI going to come, it's supposed to be coming to the rescue, but it might not be coming to the rescue. Now, look, you know one thing that AI could do? Hold on, before I go there, I'm going to read some of the comments. Short circuit, secure John Connor. Yeah, he had Soylent Green to worry about. The Waymo cars are glitching everywhere. What do you think going to happen with these? Exactly. Yeah, you saw that video I played before where the guy was in the Waymo stuck doing donuts. He calling, please help. He's doing donuts and it won't stop. I'm gonna get right in the front seat. I'm not gonna be on my cell phone telling myself help me. I'm gonna get right in the front seat and take some action. Or I'm busting the windows out. I ain't gonna just be in there getting taken to wherever this car want to take me. I'm not into the whole driverless vehicle thing yet. The same kind of way I'm not into new technology or new vaccinations. Let's work all the kinks out first. Let's work all the kinks out before I get in it and be a test dummy. Okay, we've not done human trials with this Waymo, so the first 3 years, a little bit of trial and error. You know what I mean? And if one of them crashes and burns up, we know we got to fix something. I don't want to be the guy in the car when it decides to go AWOL and crash and burn into a Jersey wall or plunge into the river. I'm not trying to be in the vehicle when that happens. Now check it out. One thing that the droid bots, the AI bots could do is assist us with some of the more undesirable tasks. Okay. Now, this right here might be an undesirable task. You see the caption, wheelchair pushers at the airport deserve a raise and a vacation. Now, look, I got a question. How much do you think she weighs in that chair? How much do you think? And why is she in the wheelchair? Do you think she's like actually disabled? I think she's just got a big back and cannot make it down the actual walkway to the airplane. And here's another question. Where are you going to sit on the plane? Do you have more than one seat? I hope you do, because I could tell right now that this ain't really going to be a comfy situation. All right. If I got to be on the plane next to you, I'd be like, all right, well, look, man, we got to, if it's three of us in this row, I'm in the middle and she's on the inside and somebody's on the end, I'm going to get squished like a whole Oreo cookie. Like, it's going to be a mess, man. But yeah, if you want to get on the airplane, be a little bit more aerodynamic. You understand what I'm saying? Pun intended. Now, speaking about big backs, have you guys seen this statue in New York City? This statue, I have a lot to say. Okay, let's just watch this right quick so you understand what I'm talking about. This is a statue, 12-foot tall statue of a black woman in New York City that just got unveiled. All right, let's watch. Let's get a little bit of sound.
And communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
I have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lead.
And
okay, now look, listen. Why? That's my question. Why? Because look, why is she so frumpy? That's the thing. She's wearing like a t-shirt and some leggings. They ain't give her no brassiere. They ain't do nothing. It's like, y'all could at least put her in some regular, like a little bit more nice clothing, right? Put her in some nice clothing, make her be a little bit more pretty. Look, I'm an artist, okay? Y'all know me. I used to do all kinds of visual art, oil pastel, watercolor, acrylic, pen, pencil, color pencils. I could do anything. That was my thing. I'm an artist 100% all day long. That's what I do. That's who I am in my heart. So I understand the art world. I understand art history. You got a thing called realism and a thing called idealism. Now, realism, it'll show people, like if you got a piece of artwork, you got a statue, a painting or whatever, it'll show people in the more realistic light, but they would not look necessarily frumpy. You could say the Mona Lisa is realism, but the Mona Lisa, she didn't look frumpy. Okay, she might be a little bit more plump than what you would paint someone as to make it a little bit more realistic, but it would still be complimentary to the person. Idealism is when you take someone and portray them as the most beautiful version of themselves, the most beautiful, the most masculine, the most feminine. That is what idealism is in this context. But what's this? T-shirt, no brassiere, leggings, hand on hip. Why? I don't understand. I don't like it. 12-foot tall statue. I don't like it. I understand, you know, you want to be more realistic, but no. I think this is something that is meant to be a slap in the face, to be totally honest. And this dude right here, look at them. Like, you could already kind of tell what's going on. I wonder how much he loves his black mom. Not a whole lot, but I digress. Not a whole lot if you do something like that. I mean, come on, man. Like, that's really, it's like a caricature. When you go to Atlantic City or something like this, and it's an artist right there drawing crazy cartoons of you, it's like that. But you expect that when you go to a guy like that. It's not to be taken seriously. It's just a joke. A statue? What are we trying to do? What is the message? Who are we trying to inspire with that? If I see a statue, it should be inspirational. It should be aspirational. I want to be like that. I want to aspire to do that. This person looks beautiful. They look great. They are, or it's a person of significance. Okay, an athlete, some type of philosopher, president, something like this. That's what it should be. But look, check it out. People on the street were interviewed about it, okay? And these interviews kind of make me think this was done for a certain kind of person who I might not like too much. Let's watch.
A plus size woman, I'm a plus size man, I'm African American, it's the African American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop and just have a moment with was very powerful.
Me being a plus size black woman, I kind of looking at it was like, oh, I wonder what me as a small child would have thought looking at something like that. Representation.
The piece is part of a series called Grounded in the Stars, which Gene Cooney, director of Times Square Arts, says confronts preconceived notions of identity and representation.
A plus size woman.
Gobbledygook for the explanation. So you're a man calling himself plus size. You already know what time it is. He's a tad bit light in the loafers off rip. And then the other person talking about, oh, I'm also a plus size, so it benefits me. My question is, did the reporter ask them, hey, this statue, do you like it? You're a plus size black person. Do you like that statue? Does it speak to you? And you know what? Check it out. If you're a big back, why would a statue of another big back be a good thing? That's not, we're encouraging the wrong kind of behavior. We're encouraging, you might as well had the statue with her and the bag of Doritos just dumping the Dorito dust all on your forehead. That might as well have been what you did. Jay says it's a memorial for all the plus size women who died recently with body positivity. Huh? No, are we just joking, or was that serious? Observer says, how about an in-shape black woman? Exactly, thank you. A pretty in-shape black woman. There's plenty you could have picked from. Plenty archetypes you could have picked from. You picked the lady going to her son's daycare to pick him up in what is almost like pajamas and no brassiere. The art world is so pretentious and ridiculous and weird, and they also are very vindictive, but that's a different story. Normalizing gluttony, yes, 100%. The message I got is, hey, fat black women, this is you. Look to your idol. Anyway, I don't like that. I don't like that. Now check it out. Have you guys seen this? This right here made my day when I saw it. So we have Ivanka and Jared in Miami hanging out, doing their thing. Okay, they're going back to the car. We got bodyguards and whatnot because you got lunatics out here that want to do crazy things. Now, somebody got a teeny bit too close and they found out that you can't do stuff like that. Let's watch. Hey, you know what? The funniest part about this was the shriek from the crowd. Oh, hilarious. But look, what were you thinking? Bro, you know who that is. That's Ivanka Trump. Okay, that's the president's daughter. You're not going to get close to her, say anything to her, or anything like that. Now, my man gave you a nice little warning because you're walking up on him. See, already you're identified as a threat off the rip because why are you right here? We don't know you. Who are you? A random guy. So my man puts a hand on him like, hey, let's not do that. Come on. He's being respectful. That's the warning. Okay. Now look, see what happens. Then, you gonna push me out the way. So I have my hand on you. Keep a distance just to make sure everything's okay. To make sure I protect the president's daughter. And you just shove my hand aside. Okay, now watch this. You get pushed out of the frame and the shriek from the crowd. God, oh my God. Hey, man. That's the president's daughter, man. You can't do stuff like that. We don't got time for that. They already tried to shoot the president. Like, they shot the president in his head. By the grace of God, he didn't die. So we're not playing no games with security for the president or the president's family. Period. Man, I don't know what's going on. No rubber warning. Come on, man. Let's not even do that. That's the president's daughter. Like, be serious. You have no business being right there, and you know it. It's not even a thing to really even discuss. The hand was enough. I'm giving you a soft warning. You want to try to push me out the way? Okay, boom. And really, he is fortunate to not get more than that. He could have got stomped in the wine. Little shove, off you go. You're a little bit up there in age. One of these boomers that have been radicalized by television. Okay. So I know when I push you down, you're not going to get back up. You're going to be on the ground with a life alert. Some my neck and my back, all of that is broke. But hey, you get what you get. Now, I got to ask a question because some of y'all going to be like, verbal warning. I got a question. In this case, we have a biker, right? And y'all already know what bikers do. This appears to be somewhere overseas because of the license plate right here. It's a license plate, so I'm not sure where they are exactly. Okay, and then on the left side of the road, so UK, I don't know where it is. But let's watch this, and y'all let me know if the biker was in the right or if the car was in the right. Now look, I always say the biker is wrong because what are you even doing? Why must you get right up on the car and they blind spot? What you should do is slow down and just let them go because you're not going to be able to get past them or get on the sidewalk. I never understood why they have to be in the street and they can't be in the sidewalk even for a little while. I don't really get it. So to the bikers out there and to the vehicle drivers who don't bike, what do y'all think? Who was in the right here? Biker bro or the vehicle? Okay, so I'm seeing bikers doing too much. Angela says biker. Bless says biker. Backup says, I see no bike lane. Neither do I. John Pearson says biker is wrong. Mercer says you expected way more. Baltar says biker watches too much soccer. Looks like Amsterdam. The driver's wrong. Okay. So was the black guy Secret Service? Well, I don't know about Secret Service, but he was security. So Secret Service or security, either one. I'm not quite sure. Either way it goes, he did his job to protect the president's daughter because he's right beside her. So if you got a guy walking up on her, he has to do his job. Simple. Yeah. Don't walk up on the president's daughter trying to and then push me out the way. You guys gonna get yourself dumped upside down. All right, now look. I think the biker was wrong because what are you even doing? Bikers, and not all bikers do stuff like that. Shout out to the bikers who don't get in the way of vehicles and allow people to drive and be normal. But I see all the time, bikers, they do crazy things in the road for no reason. Literally no reason. The one guy I tell y'all about all the time, hold on. I got to find an example of this so you can see exactly what I'm talking about when I say it. Okay. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm saying. Matter of fact, actually, this is pretty much what it was. All right. So the guy had a tall bike and he was swerving in and out of traffic with a tall bike. Now, you might think I'm exaggerating, but I'm serious. The bike was like that tall. Literally, the bike was like that tall. And this guy was swerving in and out of traffic downtown Chattanooga and the bike that tall. It's like, bro, why? Why? You already up about 20 feet in the air on this bicycle, no shirt on, no helmet, swerving at a stoplight for what? You got a sidewalk. Do something else, man. Like, those be the guys talking about my bike lanes. It's like, sir, you're just doing too much. Hey, the bike was that tall, for real, swerving in and out of traffic. I'm in my truck and I'm looking like that at the dude. He was way up there. You can't make stuff like that up. I promise you cannot make it up. You cannot make it up. Now, let's keep on rocking here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, now check it out. Yeah, ain't no insurance on that. No shirt, no shoes. Well, he had shoes on, I think, but he had no shirt on, a pair of jorts, no shirt, no helmet, right? Some bowling shoes or something like this, and the bike that's like 25 foot tall. In traffic, anyway. So, George Santos, remember him? Now, George Santos, I think did he get locked up? I'm not quite sure if he got locked up, but George Santos got us in some trouble because he had taken some gifts or something like this. Now, George Santos was in the GOP, and he took some gifts, stuff like this, and he got found out, got caught. He gets in trouble. But here he is talking about others who have not been in trouble, who probably should be in trouble. Let's watch.
So, members of Congress that should be indicted but never probably will be. Ilhan Omar, immigration fraud. She married her brother to become a resident. Yeah, true. Nobody's talking about that. Rep. Thanedar from Michigan. Well, animal cruelty, identity theft, all sorts of different freaking issues that.
Now, Thanedar is the guy with the big crazy suit on. Hold on. Just so we on the same page, just so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. You talking about him right here. Okay, you talking about that guy. That's Thanedar right there with this big crazy 46 long Burlington Coat Factory suit when he should wear a 34 short. That's him. But anyway.
He's done with his shady past. Nothing's going to happen about that either, I believe. Has anyone found AOC's missing $1 million from her campaign? I'm waiting, asking for a few friends. Oh, and let's not forget, there's a good old Adam Schiff. He's never going to see justice. Indictment for him? Never. Oh, what about the inside traders? Like all the allegations around Pelosi, Dan Crenshaw, Nicole Malliotakis. What about them? Are they ever going to be indicted and investigated? Just curious. Oh, and then there's all the sex scandals, right? I mean, I can
see now. No, whoa, wait a minute. Let's be careful now.
Name them, but those are so long. But pretty much about half of Congress. Anything about that? Oh, and then there's Jasmine Crockett's grandma receiving Social Security payments for 11 years after she passed.
Whoa, I know about that one. What? Say, hey, Jasmine Crockett. Say it ain't so. Tell me right now, your mama did not get payments for SSI 11 years after she passed away. Tell me that didn't happen. And tell me it wasn't you taking the money. Please tell me it's not so. Say it ain't so.
It's just, well, anyway, I just figured I'd share a few thoughts, and those are thoughts in my mind. I think it's time we start really putting metal to the pedal, because why not?
All right, so again, that's George Santos. He got in trouble for taking gifts and stuff like this in the GOP. I believe he got locked up, or he might get locked up. He might get sentenced. But he's saying, hey, y'all want to get me in trouble. Well, what about everybody else in Congress doing all that kind of stuff? Nancy Pelosi, insider trading. He has a point. And I'm not saying he shouldn't get in trouble, because he should, because he did what he did. But let's get everybody in trouble. Somebody said, what sex scandals? Hey, I ain't gonna get into it. But let's remember there was an inappropriate tape filmed in the Senate hearing room between two men. But I digress. I ain't going to get into the congressman and what they may have done or what they may not have done. I ain't going to get into that. Now check it out. Salt Lake City, Utah, of course, makes LGBTQ LMNOP XYZ flags official city's flags in order to evade Utah's flag banning at government buildings. Okay? You see what's going on here? Hey, we got to fly these flags because they're city flags. And I hate these people for this, because do you see what is going on here? Now, you have the LGBT flag, right? And I guess they put a little flower on each flag to be a city flag. But you got the LGBTQ flag with the black and the brown stripes, which I hate, because what's that got to do with us as black people and other non-whites? What's that got to do with us? Right next to it is a Juneteenth flag. What's that got to do with transgenders, which is the next flag, and gay people? What does the liberation of slaves got to do with transgender people or gay people? Can somebody break that down for me? Like I'm 5 years old. Hey, Anthony, this is why that makes sense. Break it down for me. Anyway, let's watch.
Each and every resident to look up at any flag that flies at City Hall and be reminded that their community values belonging and acceptance, and that their community values every one of them. Let the Sago Lily send a simple but powerful message. Salt Lake City is here for you. We believe in you, and we love you. I want each and every...
Boy, man, I'm telling you, my blood is boiling. That Juneteenth flag right there, that's got to be a slap in the face. Hey, black folks, you like that? You like the flag of your liberation right next to a tranny flag? It means the same thing to them. In their mind, it's all the same. The coloreds and the gays are the same in their mind. So how you feel about that, huh? Y'all feel warm and fuzzy inside? I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Alrighty. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Oh, so Jemele Hill compares the push for transformers in women's sports to MLK and the civil rights movement. Alrighty, let's see how we tie this together, Jemele Hill. I really want to hear this. I really want to see what you got up your sleeve. Alrighty.
The other problem, Scott, is that it's never enough. It's bathrooms today. It's sports today. It's sports tomorrow. It's the military today.
No, it's also sports today, by the way.
Yeah, it is sports today. And
80% of Americans agree, by the way.
Oh, that's fine. And 80%, guess what? The majority sometimes is wrong. That also happens, right? Because the majority used to believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was somebody who was a threat, that somebody who was not a good American. The majority of people used to be against civil rights. Were they right? No, they weren't. And so,
Actually, MLK was not a good person. Let's just call it what it is. He said some good things. I'm not going to take that away from him. But MLK was a communist, a socialist, trained by communists out here in Tennessee alongside other people, and a philanderer, loved in white women when he was on the road. Mr. Married Pastor, preacher man, married with kids. Meanwhile, when you on the road doing your I Have a Dream, you in the room with Susie May, okay? Pearly Jean, Susie May, and all of them. So, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that comparison. At the end of the day, Scott Jennings, I love the face. Great. But what Scott is saying is right. 80% of Americans don't agree with that. And that doesn't matter what color you are, black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. Ask the average black person, white person, Asian person, Hispanic person, any other colored person, ask them about transgenders in bathrooms with girls. They're going to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I have an experiment that I want Jemele Hill and others to do. Go to other countries, travel around, and ask them, hey, how you feel about transgenders in sports? How you feel about a man in the same private area as a little girl? Ask them how they feel about that and see what the answer is. We ain't gonna be surprised, but they be surprised. All right, but yeah, shout out to her. Now, this is a good video right here. Okay, now this guy has face tattoos, Hispanic guy, and he is a Trump supporter. He's the guy who supports what's happening right now with the deportations and everything else. The criminal aliens getting up out of here. But people on the interwebs were bullying him because of his tattoos, talking about you have gang tattoos, Trump going to deport you next. Let's hear from him and why he says that's not going to be the case. Check it out.
So basically, everybody got disappointed in me yesterday and had the nerve to point out the fact that I'm a Hispanic male and I have gang-related tattoos. A lot of them identified me as an MS-13 member because of my political stance of what I said yesterday about a man killing an innocent cop. Saying I should be understanding because I'm a Hispanic quote-unquote gang member and that cops will put me in jail and target me and probably shoot me in a line of fire just like anybody else. These are gang-related tattoos. And yes, I was in prison from 13 to 18, got out for 6 months, then went to prison for 15 years. And then I've been out since 2020, and I've been out 5 years. But allow me to educate you prejudgment people on there calling me MS-13 members and threatening to call Trump on me. I've been out 5 years. 5 years. As a full-time employee, I'm a blue-collar man. benefits, 401k, my own spot, my own car, never been late on a bill. Bro, I've never even been pulled over before. Have a clean driving record, not even a speeding ticket. I'm a former gang member who's online that speaks against California prison gangs and street gangs to try to teach the kids not to go down the same road that I did and fuck his life up and throw his life away. Most importantly, in the whole 5 years that I've been out, not once have I ever been harassed by a cop or gave a cop a reason to search me, to check me, to identify me, look at my gang-related tattoos, because I follow the rules and I learned the law. Because the one thing that society has taught me is don't ever take my freedom for granted like I did before and throw my life away and end up back in prison. I like my freedom out here. So all I did was suspend the morals and values and principles that I had for the gang culture and replace it with the ones that society taught me out here, and that's to be a good citizen. These gang-related tattoos on my face are just part of my past, but they don't define me no more. And yeah, my baby car seats right there. I got a 2-year-old that I adore and that I'm a present father and that I love and that I go to work for every day and not miss a day of work for to provide for so he don't end up like me. Just thought I'd point that out to you guys.
There we go. So shout out to my man. Shout out to him. Okay, turning your life around, doing the right thing. And I'm sure he's here legally because if he was locked up, he would have got deported after it was finished. So yeah, shout out to him doing the right thing. Okay, you can't always judge a book by its cover. Now, in the case of Kim Arbecker Garcia, it's not really about judging the book by its cover. This guy has a criminal history, including being pulled over with a bunch of adults in the vehicle, ain't nobody speaking no English, clearly a human trafficker, a smuggler, is mounting the evidence, beating his wife. That's a whole different situation, and he's here illegally, but I digress. So yeah, shout out to him. Now, he was talking about this case of Rodney Hinton. Okay, now what Rodney Hinton did, let me show you what's going on. What this guy did was shoot and kill an innocent police officer because his son was shot and killed by an officer. And the worst part about this was the guy that the dad shot wasn't even the guy that shot his son. And his son was in the wrong because he had a gun and pointed it at the cop, which was found on body camera and everything else. His son was 100% wrong and should have got shot. The dad just got upset and decided to crash out. So now the son is dead and he is done. Let's watch some of this.
Your Honor, in 2017, there was a domestic violence charge where the defendant pled guilty to disorderly conduct. In 2019, there was an assault conviction out of Hamilton County. And then I believe there was an assault conviction out of Middletown from 2023 and an aggravated menacing conviction out of Middletown from that same court. So that's his prior. So, Your Honor.
So the guy has prior convictions and everything else. Now, this is what they wound up doing. Okay. So as he's in court, all the cops, well, a lot of cops from that area decided to give him a little greeting, a send off, or whatever. Okay, that's his boy right there who got deleted by the cops for having a gun. They had a stolen car, a gun, all of that. Typical YN, you understand what I'm saying? So here he is being paraded in front of the cops. Hey man, some were talking about, oh, why did the cops do that? Why they gotta intimidate them? Listen, you gonna kill a cop? And the thing about it is, it was completely senseless. Killing the cop obviously senseless, but it was just him getting quote unquote revenge. Totally crazy. So I hope they give him the rope in the back. Excuse me, not because YouTube watching. Give him the ultimate sentence. Put it to you that way, because you can't do stuff that you can't do that kind of thing in society. And I saw people talking about, oh, he got his revenge. He got his lick back, as a cool kid say. He got his revenge. It's like, is that how we live in society? You could just go hurt people because you're upset and you mad? Nah, that ain't how we do it. Your son was a menace, and now we see why your son was a menace, because you're a menace too. One menace faces another menace. You are a menace, bad person, criminal record, playing with guns. Your son doing the same thing you doing. That's why your son dead, because of you. You failed. You're a father. You did not raise your son properly. He dead. You pretty much dead too. So it is what it is. Now, hopefully that cycle can stop now that he's in prison. Anyway, I'm getting triggered, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Alrighty. Now look, to lighten the mood a little bit, to lighten it up a little bit, a little teeny bit. Do you guys perform maintenance on your vehicles? And I'm talking about basic things like oil changes, changing the cabin air filter, changing your windshield wiper blades. If you got a cracked windshield or something like this, get Safe Light on the job, have them come fix it. But one of the most important basic maintenance things is your tires, your wheels and tires, which are the tires. How many of y'all are riding around on bald head, Michael Jordan, okay, ABL, bald head tires? Let's watch.
Okay, TikTok family, can someone tell me what do it mean when your tire looks like this and when you see stuff like this? I don't know what that means. It's just this one. So do this mean I got like this tire is better than this tire? Do I need to,
oh my God, wow,
replace this tire? Or what's going on? Like, cause it's just so slim. Like, what is this? What do this mean? Is this tire bad cause this is showing? Or what is this? Like, I really need y'all help because yeah.
Oh my goodness, lady. I don't know. Listen, I don't know where you're going on these tires. You can't really be going anywhere far. I'm talking about you live in a place where there's no hills, where it never rains. You just pretty much going from your house down the street like 5 miles on the flat surface, and you might not go beyond 10 miles an hour because those tires are bald. They are bald, and at any moment they're going to fail on you. You're going to be hydroplaning. They're going to pop. Then don't let it get hot. Oh yeah, you pretty much toast. I'm seeing tread up underneath. Listen, I'm seeing the tire beginning to separate. Replace all the tires right now. Replace all the tires. I bet you it's real. Look, I see tires like that occasionally. I do. I'm at the stoplight. It'll be a young lady in there. Shout out to the women that can drive. I know you guys in the chat know how to drive, take care of your cars, or get your husband to do it or somebody to do it. Take it to a dealership. Y'all are doing great. But some of your young lady counterparts be looking like this. I'm talking about no tread. You might as well be out there with I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to call them. That's crazy. That's zero tread, wetsuit tread, nothing. 5 more years, 5 more days before them things pop on the interstate. My. Yeah. Hey, it can't be no inspection. Yeah, it can't be no inspection because in Virginia we had inspections. But here in Tennessee ain't no inspections. And I had seen some jalapenos on the road in Tennessee. Oh, I done seen some jalapenos. Y'all be at the gas station, everything falling off. Radiator, carburetor, alternator, all of that be on the ground at the gas station. Matter of fact, the other day, I'm at the gas station, pumping my gas, minding my business, and I'm hearing some loud noises. Give me that wrench, Buster. Give me that wrench. I need that wrench right now. I was like, all right, you know what? They're having a little problem right here with the car. I see the car at the pump is all over the place. I mean, it looked like something from Mad Max. Like they just pretty much took parts from a junkyard and made a car. Hand me that wrench, Max. Close the door, turn the gas off. It's gonna blow up. I was like, all right, you know what? Time for me to go because it's sounding a little bit elevated right here. It's a little elevated, and I'm not trying to get hit with Jethro's crack pipe or nothing like that. But shout out to them. And you know what? The funny part is, I pulled off and I left, and I went kind of a different way. They were ahead of me. That's like, how y'all do that? When I left, y'all were still there, but you ahead of me. They made it work some kind of way. Barely. But yeah, in Virginia, we don't play that. Yearly inspection and a jalopy like that, not going to pass. You got bald tires, anything like that, you're not going to pass. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, so we got Stephen A. Smith talking about he's glad that the election went the way it went because they take advantage of the black vote way too much. Let's watch.
When I'm abhorring or lamenting the state of affairs within the Democratic Party, I'm basically talking about what they were focusing on. They may be doing things on the state and local level and may deserve an abundance of credit for it, but that's not the message that we were receiving. And you know why we weren't receiving that message? Because they didn't think they could sell it to us. They didn't think that that would be good enough. They wanted to make sure, oh, we're going to point to racism. We're going to guilt you into voting for us. We're not going to talk about the things that we're doing positively. We're going to talk about what the other side is doing negatively to engage in fear mongering to help you through fear factor go our way instead of theirs. And it didn't work this time. And to be quite honest with you, even though I might not like some of the things I'm seeing from the Trump administration thus far, the bottom line is I'm glad it didn't work, because I think for the longest time, black Americans have played the role of suckers to the Democratic Party. They've guilted us into voting for them, making us feel as if we're going to be ostracized, creating division within our own communities or what have you to get our vote, instead of saying to us, hey, this is what we will do for you, and it will work better than what they're offering.
Right on. So again, shout out Stephen A. Smith. It's crazy because people are actually saying he could become the president. I mean, I like Stephen A. for his takes on certain things, but President Stephen A., I'm good. Don't worry about it. I am good. Now, but you know what? I'm going to say this, though. I am going to say this. If you put gun to my head and say, hey, ABL, would you rather have Stephen A. Smith in office or these people? It's going to be a hard choice to make. Let's watch. These are Connecticut Democrats.
I'd rather have 100 Baird haircuts than to deal with 100 days of Donald Trump.
I'd rather have 100 vaccination shots in my arm.
I would rather have to take 100 scammer calls than go through the last 100 days.
I would rather have 100 children on a bus singing 100 bottles of beer on the wall.
I would rather sit on Interstate 84 in a traffic jam for 100 hours.
I'd rather cook 100 family meals, and believe me, my kids are going to find this very funny, than 100 days of Trump.
I'd rather take the bar exam 100 times than have another 100 days of the Trump administration.
Okay, so I guess that was really, hey, you showed us, Connecticut Democrats. You showed us. Okay, look at my man right. Look at, what are you wearing, bro? What's up with this gilded vest? I don't know what that is, but yo. So that's Connecticut Democrats for you. They sure did tell Trump. So look, again, if I had to pick between some of those individuals and Stephen A. Smith, I'd be like, man, I don't have very many cards to play. Okay, if it's poker, I'm pretty much out. Whatever kind of money I got in the pot, I'm going to lose that. I'm losing my shirt on this hand. I have nothing. So I got to just play something. And that's pretty much what Stephen A. Smith would be in that scenario. That'd be the something card I play when I really have nothing. Gold vest, yeah, your gilded vest. It's like, bro, are you a funeral director? Or are you about to be in the funeral? What's either one of the two? But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Now, here's Eric Adams having a plan to deal with some of the crime in the bodega. Now, for my NYC people and or big city people, is this a good idea, bad idea? Y'all let me know. Let's watch.
Mayor says
panic button that you'll immediately be able to hit, that is going to alarm the police and is going to be connected directly to the local precincts. When you do the combination, it's going to give you access to the cameras in the store to see what is taking place and how we could get an immediate response.
Mayor says.
And you know what? That's actually a pretty good idea. When I first saw it, I was like, a button. But if you're able to push the button and it contacts the police right away, and they can see the cameras inside the store instantly like that, that's beautiful because, okay, the store is getting robbed. You push the button. They can see what's going on. So then when they get to the scene, they can canvass the area and identify a potential suspect based upon what they saw on the camera. And you could get a more rapid response. Plus, you could do that kind of discreetly. So what do y'all think? They could seem smart. What do y'all say? I fall and I can't get up. That's right, Kelly K. Basically, it might work for a day. Matt says, good idea. I thought all bodegas in NYC have those. Well, hey, I wouldn't know. I'm not a New Yorker. I think it's a smart idea, though. I think it is. Now, somebody asked me, was it Hobbalone who asked me about the moon pie spot in Chattanooga? Yes, I'm a big moon pie fan. I don't eat them very regularly because I'm not a big back. But I have been to the moon pie store downtown Chattanooga, and they sell moon pies all over the place. We got a Little Debbie manufacturer right here, right down the street. So all of that, the Twinkies, all of that is right here. And the moon pies, we got all of that right here. But yeah, moon pies are kind of an acquired taste. I've always liked moon pies, but to some, they think it's like kind of bitter. It's not really sweet. It tastes kind of dry. But I like desserts that aren't too rich in flavor. I like it to be a little bit more subdued. I don't like it when it's just too much flavor going on, too much sugar, Yeah, I don't want to eat a sugar pie. I want to eat something with a little bit of flavor in it. So the moon pies, that's right on my radar. That's right up my alley. All right, so yeah, shout out to you for that question, though. Okay, now look. So we got some protesters out here in Tennessee. They said Tennessee Highway Patrol carries out overnight public safety operation in Nashville alongside ICE and HSI agents. This led to detainments of an unknown amount of people. Buses carrying possible detainees were sent to another location Sunday afternoon. They watch too much TV. Isn't that like, what's that, Game of Thrones? Look, y'all know I'm not a TV guy, but I've seen that meme. Shame. It's like, yo, this ain't Netflix. This is real life. And your TO, your friend, your coworker, probably done some criminal activity. Might be somebody that sells fentanyl, human trafficker, or something like this. So now they're getting deported. It is what it is. Okay, you got a little hee-haw crying. It's like, your dad shouldn't have been a gang member or wherever he is, because one thing about these raids, they can never produce someone who's like a maid or a field worker or a construction worker only. They can't find that person that's been deported and put them on TV. Who did they put on TV to rally behind? Kill Marlboro Garcia, a gang member, human trafficker, wife beater. They put these guys on TV. Where is the actual bona fide worker who's not committing crime who's here illegally? If you put them on TV, you gain more sympathy from the public. You gain more support for your cause from the public if you could put out a truly benign figure who's just here illegally. But they can't. It's always a criminal doing something they shouldn't be doing on top of being here illegally. So, come on. Yeah, this ain't Netflix. This ain't Hulu. This ain't Amazon Prime. None of that. This is real life. Shame. Man, shut up. If you don't shut your pie hole all the way up. So now, speaking about shutting up, I need those who are worried about DOGE, talking about, oh, they're taking our data. I need those people to just zip it right on up. All righty, because we know what's happening with a lot of these monies.
So it turns out 7,000 politically connected NGOs are receiving 90% of all taxpayer money going to nonprofits. Roughly $300 billion in government money flows through nonprofits every year with zero transparency with regard to where that money goes. The American people deserve access to the books of any entity that takes government money and all information about how that money is used and the communications around it need to be considered public record. That's our money, and these NGOs need to start answering to us. So it turns out 7,000 politically connected.
So 7,000 NGOs that are politically connected get 90% of all taxpayer money. And my question is, what are the NGOs doing with the money? Where does the money go? How does the money get distributed? What's really going on? And I've been talking about NGOs for many years now. So for me, this ain't nothing new at all. Now, this video right here is one of my favorites. My man, now this guy's from Ghana. Okay, I figured it out. I thought I knew West Africa. I know West Africans when I see them off the rip. I know Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, all of that, all of them French places. I know them when I see them. Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia. I know them when I hear them, especially, and when I see them. But here he is talking about these people protesting Trump, not working, pretty much just in the way. Let's watch.
Coming from Ghana, Obama came to my country bullshitting. Kamala Harris came to my country saying that we should accept some stupidity.
I'm Terry, I'm not them.
It sounds like
he
just wants his country to be better. Come to Africa.
I don't know what he's
Destroy this country, I'm okay with that, but never come to Africa.
I can't answer your problem.
Okay.
I
like
this.
Come
I like
to
this.
Africa.
Okay.
Because if you have a country and you don't respect it, don't come to
He's not
Africa.
talking because I don't know what he's talking
You
about.
did the same thing to me a second ago. Like, let him talk. You don't love it, you don't respect it, you want to destroy it. And it's disheartening.
Okay,
it's disheartening to see Americans destroy themselves
I know, but,
like that.
If we're going to talk, can we lower the voices? Because the second the cops come over here,
you know, I'm coming from a country.
Yes,
you know how
I
Africa,
heard
the
you.
places, is so underdeveloped, right?
Yes.
But if Americans don't know what they have, they should wait till they destroy it, and you people will see. Africa, you see what we do to you guys. Come to Africa, and you see.
That's the concept that Donald Trump wants.
And let's pause. Now, this right here is what I'm talking about. People say, oh, well, there's poverty in America, ABL. The poverty in America is nothing compared to the poverty in Africa. Oh, my Lord. The poverty is real. It's not a game. Over here, you could be 1,000 pounds and poor. Try doing that in Africa. You're not going to eat for days if you're poor. For days. It's different. Ain't no welfare, ain't no free food, EBT, ain't none of that going on in Africa. That's not really a thing. It could be a thing in one particular city or something like that, but if you're talking about poor people, that don't exist, okay? And the things that we have here in this country, people take for granted. Go to a non-developed or underdeveloped or developing country and see what they got to deal with every day. Most of the people in this country that have been born and raised here couldn't handle it.
I live here legally. If America gets destroyed, I have a country to go. But what about you? Where are you going to go?
Unfortunately, nowhere, which is why we're trying. Okay.
What you're doing is just sheer waste of time. It calls for your contribution, my contribution to make this country great. But if you want to destroy it, I'm not going to allow that because I have my kids there that came here.
How are they destroying it? How are they?
Okay. One, they don't understand that today being a Saturday, there are people working. They should go and work, contribute to the economy of this country to make sure that this country become better.
Yeah.
But they are here wasting time, bullshitting. They get everything for free, Medicaid, Medicare, EBT, and all that bullshit. Come to Africa. Cash and carry. If you don't have money, you're not going to eat. You understand? You guys are here and you are just making noise. Making noise for no reason. I mean, well, what kind of people is this? And you think all black people are stupid? It's not all of us who are stupid. I mean, America give people the opportunity to fool too much. The stupidity is too much.
He's more than welcome to talk. Okay. I just don't want to trigger the.
I get it. We'll come over here. This is not a
Hey, come.
I'm sharing an idea.
Hey, my man right there. Hey. Love it. Hey, that's right, being it. He ain't flinched a muscle because he was just talking. The MAGA hat came on. He just kept talking. Yeah, he kept on just saying what he had to say. He ain't care nothing about the hat or nothing. And he was telling the truth. It's like, man, y'all out here just BSing and playing around. Meanwhile, you're going to destroy your country. And what you going to do? Now, if the country is destroyed, he can go back to Ghana. And it's rough over there. It's a lot going on, but that's a country to go back to. If Americans destroy America, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? What, Canada? Canada, we going to go there? Canada ain't nothing but a American suburb. An American suburb. So if the actual city dies, so will the suburb. Europe, American tourist suburb. Shout out to the Europeans. You have a long history and whatnot, although some of your European leaders kind of don't really care. Prince Harry, Macron, etc., so on and so forth. Zelensky, okay? Look at Zelensky coming to the White House every 3 months. Can I please have some monies? Can I please? I'd want a little bit more monies. You can borrow. You can have minerals. You can. But I need some monies. Please, I beg. What are they gonna do without us? Fall. Then what? It'd be a mess. So shout out to my Ghanaian brother, West African brother, for telling the truth. Telling the truth. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Jay says, I go back to my first world country. Everyone else sucks for you. Well, what country is that? Is it Europe? Like, what country would you go back to if the United States fell? Y'all let me know. All right. But yeah. Hey, but I know that West African, they say, When I hear that, I was like, yeah. Ghana, Nigeria, already know what time it is. I already know my little dialects. Europeans too. I know them Southern Europeans, them Vlade Divac sound people. I know them. Them Russians, the Eastern Europeans, I know them. The French, I know that. Like, I know them as well, the French. Shout out to the French if you're watching. All right. Now, my man right here, he built the house, pardon me, for about what, 262? 262. Okay. He built the house for that much. Now, I don't know exactly when he built it, but probably sometime recently. Now, that's a pretty nice house. A pretty good price as well, and he built it. I'm not sure where he is. I don't think California would allow you to do something like that. But let's watch and see him break it down, how much everything costs, piece by piece.
$262,000 in cash to build this house from start to finish, and it only took me 60 days. This is the complete cost breakdown. The land
60 days? That's crazy. Let's start from the top. Hold on.
Cost breakdown. The land cost $27,000. The building plans and this rendering cost $8,200. The water, the sewer, and the electric hookup cost $8,300. The culvert and the dirt work it took to build the pad cost $13,200. The concrete slab cost $26,400. The framing cost $27,400. The siding cost $10,600. The windows cost $6,400. The exterior doors cost $3,600. The roof cost $14,000. The garage door cost $2,500. The driveway cost $6,900. The landscape cost $4,400. The HVAC cost $8,900. The exterior and the interior paint cost $6,300. The plumbing cost $12,900. The electrical trade cost $10,500. The spray foam insulation cost $3,200. The drywall trade cost $8,900. All the cabinetry cost $8,400. The interior doors and all the carpentry cost $6,000. The quartz countertops cost $6,100. All of the tile cost $15,700. The LVP flooring cost $3,700. All of the railing cost $3,100. The appliances cost $1,900. And all the miscellaneous items cost $9,000. This is a 1,887 square foot house with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms that I built in the Houston area.
Very good. Okay, very, very good. That's a great price. Start to finish, $262. In Houston, Texas, $1,800. Wait, say a 3-2? Very good. So would y'all do something like that? Build a house from scratch and pay that amount of money in Houston, Texas? What do y'all think? Windows $6,000? Yeah. Said the house is a money fit? No, I mean, he built everything. That's the cost of everything that he put into it to build it from ground up. Okay. It wasn't a house that was already there. All he did was just buy the land and then build on the land. No way it cost that cheap. I believe it. Houston, Texas, I believe it. It wasn't a big house. 1,800 square foot. That's not a big house. So I believe it cost that much. And you built it straight up from scratch. He got some laborers to come in there, but he probably did some stuff himself. So if you can do some things yourself and save on labor, like installing windows, he probably could install the windows and the siding himself. He could paint himself. Stuff like that. He could, doors, windows, fixtures. He could do that himself. That's easy. But the bigger things like pouring a concrete slab in the driveway, you get that, contracted out. You did a very good job. 1,900 for appliances. Yeah, that's a good question, Trouble Actual, for the appliances. He may have gone to a used appliance store, perhaps, or he might have bought it from somebody, Facebook Marketplace. That happens sometimes. Okay, I'm moving. I'm going to sell my stuff. So how much? Okay, let's negotiate. I'm going to put it up there for $2,200. I buy it for $19,000. That could have been what happened. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. All right. So now I got some dust on my nose or something. Now, if you guys have been to Miami, you've been down Brickell. Now, whenever I go to Miami, I stay in Brickell. That's where I go. And this can show you how much the city can change in a short period of time. So if you're looking at real estate, you want to invest, it's not financial advice, but I'm saying look at up and coming areas. They can look one way in 1 year, 10 years later, 15 years later, it looks way different. Let's look at the transformation to Brickell, Miami.
This is actually pretty crazy. I've been seeing this post pop up on my feed. This is Brickell in 2011. It kind of looks very similar to how Fort Lauderdale looks right now. Now, if you fast forward to 2024, same exact location, kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I know some of the locals and the natives who grew up down there or grew up in Miami have to have some mixed emotions about this, because on one hand, that's insane growth. But on the other hand, it's like you went from kind of like this small city to basically Manhattan. So first of all, I'm curious, for anyone who grew up in Miami, what are your thoughts about this?
Now, I've been down there. It's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous down there. I love it. Whenever I go to Miami, Brickell, I don't got to stay on the beach because I grew up in Virginia Beach, so that's nothing. Going down to the beach, that's like regular. So I don't got to do South Beach. I can go down there, but when I want to stay and just be able to walk and do whatever, I'm going down Brickell all day long. Okay. Aaron Rock says, my guy offer for you in ABL, Miami. Okay. I'll take you up on that, Aaron Rocks, for sure. Mary Brickell Village, that's right. Yes. But when you see it in person, it's nice. It really is. And that mall they got right there, that mall, very nice. Beautiful. I mean, gorgeous. For real. So shout out to Miami. Now, I got another one in Houston, another house in Houston that I move forward. This is for rent. This is a tiny house for rent in Houston for $1,225 a month. Okay. Tiny home for rent, Houston, Texas, $1,225 a month. Check it out.
You're still sharing walls in a loud apartment with no yard? You're gonna lose your mind when you see this deal. For just $12.25 a month, you can have your own tiny home with sleek finishes, a private yard, and 0 shared walls. You just pull up to your little house and it's perfect if you got pets or just want a peaceful apartment in the burbs. If you're interested, comment info or send me a DM for my listing before it's gone. If you're still sharing...
Now, they're not talking about how many beds and baths or whatever, but that's not really bad though. I wouldn't mind. Listen, if I was in the market for a house on a budget and I don't have enough to actually buy a house, but I still want the home experience, I would get that all day long, because truthfully, I don't need that much space. If I'm a single man, no kids, what space do I really need? And back in the day, a lot of these homes that are considered tiny homes were regular houses. Because, okay, you got your kitchen right here, looks nice, little living room area right by the kitchen. Okay, they're not showing nothing else. They're just showing kitchen, backyard, little small yard area. If you got like a little toy dog, they can run back there and play. Okay. Bedroom, probably like 1 bedroom in there. Nice bathroom. If it has 1.5 baths, okay, you got the master bedroom and then a small bathroom outside. It'll be fine. So what do y'all think? Would you do it? Houston, Texas, tiny house. It didn't look to be that tiny to me, to be totally honest with you. Is it 1,200 square foot? Is that what it is for real, Boomhauer? I mean, that's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. My apartment when I was in Virginia was like 900 square foot, and that was 2 bed, 1 bath. So 1,200 square foot for a house that's not an apartment is totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Exactly, John. It doesn't look tiny to me, but in terms of modern people, modern homes, that is tiny because people want these homes that's like 2,000 square foot minimum, 3,000 square foot. They want these baby McMansions. What they say a McMansion? What's a McMansion square foot? Like 5,000 square foot? Let me look it up. McMansion square footage. So a McMansion is considered between 3,000 and 6,000 square foot. So people want those. They want McMansions. They want small McMansions. But you could still, there's still a market for small, like old school style homes. My dad had a tiny house back in the day, but it was not called a tiny house. It was just a house. And this house was really small. I'm talking about, he had 4 rooms in the house. And they were small rooms. He had a bedroom, a bathroom with no tub, just a shower and the toilet, bedroom, 1 bathroom, a kitchen, and a small living room. That was it. Later, he put an addition on the back, but it was still small. That house might have been 700 square foot with the addition. But it was a whole neighborhood house just like that. And these are old houses from like the 50s and 60s. So what we say is a tiny house right now was not a tiny house back then. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look, check it out. Some are going to be upset. You guys not going to be upset, but some are upset because this officer was lighting the cigar during an ICE raid arrest. Check it out.
Para arrestar a nadie por cosas que tienen que ver con migración. Nada de eso. Nosotros no somos reales de migración. Pero él quería saber qué es lo que está pasando, si había protestas, cuántos oficiales estaban ahí. Y él me dijo que al momento.
So what do you think about that? The cigar on the ICE raid, out of bounds, inbounds. Y'all let me know. I'm reading some comments about the house. LC says, yeah, we got 2,500 since 1994. Observer says, I live in a 600 square foot studio south of Seattle. There you go. Backup says they have some houses in Willis, Texas for 150,000. Very good. I like that. Q1 says that's a regular house on a tiny house. I share your sentiments. 1,200 square foot is fine. Jay says big house, big problems. Marry your plumber. Jay says I started in a 2-bedroom house in the ghetto. Same. Dot Matrix says I was renting a horrible apartment, 500 square foot for $1,300 in Southwest Florida. Wow. Carrie Cree says the oldest houses here that are 1 bedrooms are 585 to 800 square foot tiny houses. Yeah, back in the day that was normal, totally normal. Boomer says my first house was 1,803 square foot. Rebel Without a Reason says tiny houses are called trailers in the South. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When we first came from West Virginia, my dad had a trailer. And if you call it a trailer, he'd get mad at you. It's a mobile home. It was a trailer. But, yeah, there's a lot of trailers, and they're well done on the inside. They're not, sloppily and just filled with filth. People take care of their property. It doesn't have to be big and extravagant to look nice and be clean and efficient on the inside. Don Love says, I'm currently building a 24x40. Business says my place is 1,500 square feet and I don't use half of it. Exactly. Like my house is, what's it? Is it 2,800? I think it's 2,800 square foot, but it really is too big, to be totally honest. Yeah, it's a little bit too big. I kind of want to downsize, but I got that great interest rate, 2.75. I ain't going nowhere unless they give me an offer for like $1 million or something crazy for my house. But beyond that, I ain't going nowhere. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look. Here we have, this is older footage from the Biden administration. They talk about, oh, well, what about due process? What about due process? What part of due process is this? Lifting up the razor wire, lifting up the concertina wire to let the illegal aliens pour into the country. Okay, where did we start doing this? How is that due process? I'm having a hard time being able to understand. And since this was going on during the Biden administration, how are we going to reverse it? How are we going to get this back to a normal level? What do we do? What do we do? It's really weird. So yeah, due process. What part of the game is this? That's right, Steve Kerfofer. What part of the game is that? I don't know. Now look, here's Byron Donalds talking about the whole due process situation.
When it comes to due process, that is a privilege reserved for American citizens. When people are in our country illegally, there is a semblance of due process, but not nearly at the level of a United States citizen, of an American. There are two different standards. You come to America, you are a guest in the United States. That privilege can be revoked. And a lot of these illegal aliens were not guests. They showed up at the southern border. Joe Biden abused our laws, ignored our laws, and let them in. And yet, so what are the American people supposed to say about that? When it comes to due process, that is a privilege reserved for.
There we go. So that's his point of view. Shout out to Byron Donalds. Okay, now this is James Lankford, who says something a little bit different.
What's been confusing on this is some people see due process like as an American citizen. That's a right to a jury trial. That's all those different things. That's not true for due process for someone who's not a citizen of the United States. It's a different process. It's often just literally what people call an immigration judge. Is not a typical federal judge or a state judge. This is someone that's in the bureaucracy, that their task for DHS is that task on it. So they're a government employee career. That's an immigration judge. So it's a very different process for it. But yes, there's a need to be able to give an opportunity for someone to be able to make an argument before they're removed in the country. It's just what's been confusing.
All right, so there you go. What do you guys think? Is he right on point, off point? Personally, me, I can't really say I care about the like, if you're here illegally and you're a criminal, like, okay, put it to you this way. If you're here illegally, you got prior records, runners with the law. What are we talking about exactly? And there's millions of y'all. I think the whole thing about due process, they're talking about that a lot on the news because they want to slow the process of deportation down. They want to bog it down with the other stuff that really shouldn't matter. That's what's going on in my humble opinion. That's why they want to talk about due process so much. Okay, that's just really what it is. Okay, now look, this is the mayor of Newark. Is that Ross Baraka? I think it is. Is it him? Yep, Ross Baraka. Very well known agitator type of guy. He was denied entry into an ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey. Check it out. So you can see what's going on. There he's right at the front, trying to get in, and he's not being allowed into the actual facility. Hey, man. Like, I'm not sure what you were trying to do. You trying to go rescue these migrants? You trying to go save them? For what? And people, the American people, really don't like this kind of behavior. It's like, you have people in Newark struggling, starving, no jobs. Education is terrible. So why are you down there trying to get the migrants? Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about something right here. Okay. Was this? Yeah. So Zuckerberg, remember this story right here? One of my most famous references. This is from 2014. Saline. It says Mark Zuckerberg's Newark schools cash drop Everybody got paid, but Raheem still can't read. Now, what he did back then, 2014, 2013, he gave Newark Public Schools $100 million. He gives the money, all the consultants, contractors, everybody got their piece of the pie. But when it came to the actual kids, they're still in the same position, which goes to show that throwing money at something is not going to fix it. You got to have a total cooperation from the people in a place to make things happen. So rather than Ross Baraka focusing on stuff like this, you're focusing on trying to get illegal aliens out of the actual detention center. Have you given up on your constituents? Is that what's going on? Why did they vote for you if you're giving up on them? If you don't care about their well-being, why did they vote for you? I don't really understand. Okay, now check it out. This is Donald Trump talking about migrants and whatnot in front of Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C. All right. Now, I don't know why she's right there, but let's watch her reaction to what he's saying.
So they came in by the millions illegally into our country. They just flowed in through an open border policy that was insane. And what we've done is we've offered, you know the numbers, but because we're taking them out by the thousands, we're being obstructed. It's very unfair what's happening because the court system it's very unfair. We have to get them out fast. These are bad people. These are people that are killing, and they've already killed many people in this country. The illegal immigrants that came in illegally through an open border policy, which is insane. We talk about common sense. That's not common sense. And they came in from the Congo, all over Africa, all over Asia, all over South America, parts of Europe. They flowed in and just walked right into our country. We had no idea who they were. 21 million at least. That's probably a low number. You know, you hear lower numbers than that. It's not. That's a low number. But many are really serious. So they.
Wow, that was painful to watch. But look, you know what? I'll give her a little bit of credit. I'll give her a tad bit of credit. At least she stayed there and didn't try to cower like Gretchen Whitmer. She put the actual blue folder over her face. Gretchen Whitmer put a blue folder over her face in the Oval Office to prevent from being photographed next to Trump. So at least you got Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., standing right there dealing with it. Closing their jacket. Hey, man. But check it out, though, Muriel Bowser. What Trump was saying while you right there was all facts. It was all facts. Yeah, she was very uncomfortable. She was uncomfortable, Casey. She was highly uncomfortable, but it is what it is. What Trump was saying was right on point. But she didn't want to get caught up in the mix. She didn't want to have to answer to anybody about what was being said. Now, here we go with this big back dude right here, Elie Mystal. Yes, I called him a big back because I don't want people to look to this guy and act like it's okay to look like that. I don't care how old you are. And he's not that old. He's like my age almost. He's like 47. You're not that much older than me, bro. But look, he says right here, he doesn't care what the status of someone is if they go ahead and delete them. It doesn't really matter. You could be here legally, illegally, whatever. It's totally fine. All right, let's watch.
Why do I care what their status was when they committed the crime? If you can prove they committed a crime. I say in the book, if I get shot, if I get murdered by an undocumented immigrant, please tell my children I did not care that they were undocumented.
Right.
Why do I care?
So what do y'all think about that? It doesn't really matter. Hey, if you get deleted by an illegal alien, it doesn't really matter that they're here illegally. It doesn't really matter. I just got deleted. It didn't matter that they were here illegally. Okay. Although if they were not here, if they were deported, if they were not given the Ole treatment and allowed to come into the interior of the country, I still be living. Okay, so Laken Riley, do you think that it's wrong for us to talk about Laken Riley? Laken Riley, innocent young lady, going to school, minding her business, until she meets an illegal alien who shouldn't have been here, who had been confronted by Border Patrol, but hey, you gotta let him go because Joe Biden. He made his way through the country, committing crime, doing different things until he crosses Laken Riley's path, and then he takes her life. Whole families, whole communities, whole campus impacted, devastated. And you say it don't matter? Alrighty. Well, I'll tell you what else don't matter to you. I will tell you what else does not matter to you. Physical fitness, hygiene, hair care. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. But yeah, shout out to him. Not a big fan of his at all. That's Elie Mystal from, I don't know what he's from. He does commentary on MS-13 DNC. Okay. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, look, we still got some madness at Columbia University. Okay, Columbia still got some madness. It says Cincinnati at Columbia University as police arrest pro-Palestine jihadists who violently stormed and occupied their Butler Library. Police have barricaded the doors and are not letting people out who don't show ID. A lot of screaming and shoving. All righty, let's watch.
What's the worst that's gonna happen if you let people in, man? What's the worst that's gonna happen? What is the worst? You're gonna hurt people, man. You're gonna hurt people. So you're creating.
Now look, check it out. I'm all for protesting, right? That's your right. But what's this though? See, now I'll be getting into some dangerous type of stuff. Now I'll be getting into danger. And if it's me and I'm a Columbia student, anybody got time for that? I'm trying to go to class. Okay, I'm trying to go to class. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a video that kind of relates to this. I'll keep that in the background as I find that with no sound. Okay, hold on. It was a person talking about, I'm just trying to be here. I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to actually succeed. And that's pretty much it. I don't want any of the other nonsense. I ain't going to be able to find it, but I probably will find it by the end of the show. But basically, a lot of the students are saying, hey, I don't want to deal with this nonsense. All I want to do is learn how to be an engineer. Can I do that? Is that a thing? Or I got to deal with that too. It's like, man, I'm trying to study. I'm trying to actually help this country go forward. I'm not trying to be a mouth breather out here destabilizing this nation. All I want is an education from this nation. Okay, this is in Freattle, Washington, taking over UW campus. Okay, here we go. Yet again, the same old story. Freattle, Washington, Antifa, Chash Chop, all over again. I'm seeing not Antifa, the anarchy and/or Antifa signs. I'm seeing it. Have they gone anywhere, or did the budget get refreshed for them to go out there and do their shenanigans? Let's watch. See? Same old. Free Palestine. Back then it was something different. Then it was Black Lives Matter. It's always some kind of thing that they're going to be out there burning up trash. Now, is that a protest? Like, since when was that a protest? What's I got to do with protesting? Setting stuff on fire, barricading stuff. What's I got to do with a protest? Now we're getting into civil disobedience. We're getting into civil unrest. That's something different. Same old thing. Same old, no difference. All right, now going back to Columbia, they laid off 180 staff after Trump pulled $400 million in funding. Okay, let's watch.
180 administrators, staff that were laid off. And I saw this and I was so excited, Natalie. I was like, this is what we need, because most schools, including the University of Chicago, have way too many administrators. In the past at universities, it used to be You had the professors, you had the students, there was maybe a few department heads, and that was it for administration. Today, part of why schools are so radical and also why they're so expensive is because there are so many administrators. At some schools, there are more administrators than there are even students. At Columbia, there are about 2 administrators for every 3 students. So initially I saw this and I was like, great, they're firing these people now because they have these financial restraints because they've lost all this funding. And then I realized actually the firings were only people related to research grants. And I actually think this is a great opportunity for the Trump admin to reassess and say, you know what, if we really want to put pressure on these schools to change their ways, we have to actually require them, if they want to receive federal funding, to be financially responsible.
Let's pause right there. She's right on point. It's kind of a long video, but she's right on point. Be financially responsible. And again, when the government is funding these schools, they make it expensive because the school is basically getting a blank check from the federal government. They send them a blank check. Hey, man, charge whatever you want for tuition. We're going to pay it regardless. If the student does not pay the loan back, we're going to pay it back. And we're going to get it from them by very unconventional means in which the private lender cannot. Okay, your tax return, we could take that. Bank account, we could take that. We could do all kinds of things. We could garnish your wages, like child support and stuff like that. We could take the money from them when the private lender cannot. So that causes the cost to go up and up and up. And all they do is just increase their staff, increase this, increase that. They just increase spending. It's never going to be enough spending. Trump said, okay, you want to play and have students in danger and barricading? Let's take $400 million. All right, now what you going to do? Yeah, Bennett says teachers got paid nothing. The admins make bank. Oh, yeah, that the admins, they get the monies. They get the monies. The teachers, get a little crumb here and there. And ultimately, the whole purpose of all of the hiring should be to improve students' education. Has that been improved with much more spending? I can't tell. Look, we spend a lot of money on public schools, K through 12, but I'm seeing a bunch of uneducated people that can't read. I'm talking about basic reading, basic mathematics. 1 + 1, I don't know, 15. Oh, let me go on my phone and look it up. What's 1 + 1? I don't know. Idiots, morons. But yet we spend all this money on public school. Where's the money going? We spend the money on education, higher education. Where's the money going? These kids graduate and they're still morons. All right, now, speaking about morons, Maxine Waters talking about the DOGE employees. I mean, let's hear what you got to say.
Do you know the level, type, or nature of the clearances and security training required for individuals to access the information held in the computers of Treasury, IRS, or CFPB?
Yes, I do, and I think we would have a disagreement over the definition of the word unfettered.
Mr. Secretary, did all the individuals working with DOGE who were given access to Treasury's and CFPB's computer databases receive all of the required clearances and security training before they were granted access?
Again, they were granted read-only access at Treasury. There were two.
So let me just say,
DOGE employees.
Please, you can't filibuster here. This is not the filibuster playground. And so what you did was you let these strangers into our Treasury with access to all of the data, all of the personnel information, and you just opened the door. Why'd you do that?
No, ma'am. They were Treasury employees.
Oh, are you saying today in front of this committee that all of them were Treasury employees, that the 25-year-old who's being identified, who worked for Elon Musk, was allowed into the Treasury? Was that person there?
He was a Treasury employee, as was Tom Krause, the senior person on the DOGE team. There were only two people.
There were DOGE employees also.
Sorry?
Do you know, were you aware that there were DOGE employees?
Look, you know what? People like Maxine Waters, they don't understand. Like, she's 1,000 years old, so I don't even know what she got going on in her mind. What they put in that wig to make her think a certain way. I don't really understand. But at the end of the day, they're not harvesting. Look, if the DOGE guys are harvesting data, then so are the Treasury employees who've been there already. And for real, when we talk about data, the data's right here in your phone. They already got the data. Like, that's not even really nothing. If Elon wants data, he has Twitter or Zuckerberg, Bezos. They got your data already. So what are we talking about exactly? You're just trying to appeal to your constituents who are also like 100 years old, who may think the same way you think. 100-year-old Democrats are going to support what you're saying. Anyone else understands kind of what's really happening. Okay. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, did you guys see that air traffic control little mishap? Now, it's been quite a bit of this. And what's happening is air traffic control needs to be overhauled. They want to try to blame it on Trump. Oh, they understaffed because Trump fired people. That's not what's going on. Air traffic control did not get people that were laid off. It was the FAA overall, but not air traffic control. But air traffic control has a problem because they have outdated technology. Air traffic control uses some of the stuff from banks back in the day. Remember, if you're my age, and they might still have them, the chutes, like the electronic chute. If you guys have not seen that, hold on. Let me see if I could pull it up after we play this.
5 FAA employees have now taken special government leave to recover from the stress of it. Here's some of that audio where the tower tells one plane that radar is down.
No, you do not have a Bravo clearance. We lost our radar and it's not working correctly. Radar service terminates, squawk VFR, frequency change approved. If you want a Bravo clearance, you can just call the towers when you get closer.
Okay, I'll wait for that frequency from you, okay?
Okay, no, the squawk VFR, look up the tower frequencies. We don't have a radar, so I don't know where you are.
5 FAA employees.
So they don't know where their plane is because the radar is down. We got problems. There's some serious problems with air traffic control. And a lot of that is just the staffing. They say that it's a stressful job. Now, I don't know if it is or if it isn't. They say it is, so I just take their word for it. And that's why a lot of these people are retiring like at 56 because they allow you to do that due to the nature of the job. It's stressful. So my question would be, how do we fix air traffic control? How is it less stressful? How do we improve the situation to make things safer? Because ultimately, we can't just have guys on the clock just signing off when you got planes in the sky that need to land. Okay, we can't really do that. Now, I found the thing I wanted to show you. The bank, the vacuum tube system. If you've not seen it, they still use stuff like this at air traffic control. Okay, let's watch. All right, cameraman. So they're still using that air traffic control. Now, a lot of y'all probably never seen that before. A lot of y'all, it might be your first time seeing it. Now, my question is, do they still have this where you live? Like the vacuum tube system at the bank? And I think that was, you would cash checks like that. I forget what that was used for. Y'all let me know. Let me know two things. A, do you still have it? And B, what was it used for? Okay, your bank still has those? Wow. Okay, you know that system? All right. Toad says 2 planes on the runway ready for take. Lunch break, exactly. But that technology is air traffic control. That same tube system, they got it there too. Haven't seen them in years. All transactions. Deposit slips. Yeah, old school deposit slips. Yeah. I've not seen that in a long time at the drive-through bank. But even at the drive-through bank, you just got the ATM machine. So if you got to deposit a check, deposit it right there. Yeah, you could cash checks, deposit checks, all of that right there at the thing. So I've not seen those in a while. Your ID. Oh, okay. They want your ID that way. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to your bank if you still have those. All right, I got a few more here before we get to the calls. Pete Hegseth, let's hear from him right quick. They want to try to attack my man Pete. But Pete is the guy. Let's see what he has to say right here.
No more pronouns, no more climate change obsession, no more emergency vaccine mandates, no more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit.
I'm sorry for the cuss. I didn't anticipate that at the end. But yeah, no more dudes in dresses, no more transformers at DOD. That's a big thing they did. Because at DOD, what was happening is that these guys were getting free gender reassignment, sex changes, whatever you want to call it, on a taxpayer's dime. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't know what y'all voted for, but I didn't vote for free sex changes in the military. So I'm glad that my man Pete has stopped all that. Shout out to Pete Hegseth. Now, Joe Biden gave an interview recently, and they said they didn't know that he was declining, although we all saw it.
I never saw that person, not a single time, and I was in the Oval Office every day, that was on that debate stage. I'm not a doctor. Aging happens quite quickly.
We all saw Joe Biden in 2020 looking decrepit. So if you say you didn't see it when you're in the White House until 2022, from 2021 until 2022, you're in the White House daily. You see the president up close, in person. You knew he was declining. You knew he had already declined. So please stop it. Don't tell me no lies.
I mean, you're leaving something very important off the list, Governor. You also ran a candidate who could not reliably talk, walk, or ride a bicycle. Take me into Gavin Newsom's soul when you had to tell reporters from around the world why the United States president could not complete a sentence.
Well, it was obviously we were challenged as it relates to that debate. But if you're asking about my soul, which I appreciate, you're asking about my direct engagement and interactions with former President Joe Biden, who was not our nominee, but as it relates to his campaign and what those decisions look like, as it relates to his determination whether or not to continue that campaign or end it as he did. I never had, period, full stop. I would be lying to you, and I won't lie to you, as it relates to the direct engagement I had with Joe Biden that ever suggested a cognitive decline to the degree that we saw at that debate night. And so that was a challenging moment. And of course, over the course of the next few weeks, that moment became a monumental decision where he decided to pass that baton, and Kamala Harris, as vice president, became our nominee.
I mean,
Come on. Like, everybody knew what time it was. Y'all ran him through the primary season, got them on all the primaries, and after everything was done, you said, okay, here go Kamala. The Democratic people, the Democratic electorate voted for Joe Biden to be the nominee in 2024, and y'all said, nope, here go Kamala. And that was the plan from the beginning, to do a bait and switch, because you had no confidence in Kamala. That's what that is. Now, this is an Obama aide, Dan Pfeiffer.
If I look at
or ex-Obama aide, yeah, former Obama aide, Dan Pfeiffer, talking about Joe Biden's decline.
If I look at myself self-critically, I had not spoken or seen Biden since he called me right before the election. I talked to him for like 5-10 minutes, and he was great. And I interviewed him before the election. He was totally fine. Like, there's not even a question there. And I had talked to a bunch of people who had gone to work on the campaign who had told me he's great. Then we get to the White House, and I didn't see him again until White House Correspondents' Dinner Weekend 2024. And it was like I was at a White House reception, and he was bad. He was quite bad in it. And he told the same story twice, and he just seemed mostly old. Not in no way did I look at that and say, that man cannot do the job of president. I had real concerns that he could not do it for 4 more years. But he just, like, your concern, you look at that, if someone with my perspective is, man, that's a guy who's going to struggle on the campaign trail in a presidential campaign.
Bro, come on, man. Like, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop, man. The lion is just out of this world. Hold on. Let's just watch this one here.
I can hear your passion.
I can hear your anxiety that the world is changing the way it has. And for a long time you believed, you said, I'm the man who can stop Donald Trump. And you did once. And in the end, you withdrew from that election campaign at the last minute. It's a question you know lots of people ask you, Mr. President. Did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger chance?
I don't think it would have mattered. We left at a time when we had a good candidate. She was fully funded.
Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. Look at him. Anybody can see that this man is expired. Expired. You can see it. Okay, loaf of bread on your table, right? You're looking at it. It's green at this point. The bread is green. Oh, it's still good. I can still eat that. No, you can't. No, you're not going to eat that. And if you eat it, you're going to die. This guy is like a green loaf of bread on your actual table. You can see that it's expired. It's over. Throw it away. It's really a shame what they did to this dude, man. But hey, he was complicit, so I'm not going to sit here and shed tears for the guy.
She was fully funded. And what happened was, I had become what we had set out to do. No one thought we could do. And become so successful on our agenda, it was hard to say, no, I'm going to stop now. I meant what I said when I started, that I think I'm prepared to hand this to the next generation. It's a transition government. But things moved so quickly that it made it difficult to walk away, it was a hard decision, but.
Regrets, though?
No, I think it was the right decision. I think that it was just a difficult decision.
All right, there we go. Okay. Yikes. I mean, that's part of the interview for BBC he just did. It was like 30 minutes. I'm surprised he was able to do 30 minutes because that right there, it was like him answering that question for that 1 minute and 39 seconds. He was pretty much toast at that point. Yeah, successful. I don't know how it was successful. I don't know. That's not really a word that I would use for his presidency, but people are delusional and it's fine. It's totally okay. I'm not really tripping about that. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I got a few more, but I got limited time. So let's pop this one up about the self-deportation. So the plan is, okay, if you use the CBP Home app, the repurposed app that was first used to bring in the illegal immigrants under Biden is now used to self-deport home. So if you use the app to self-deport, they'll pay for your flight and give you $1,000 for a stipend. Now, that'll cost us, the taxpayer, $4,500. If we go arrest them and deport them, it'll cost us $17,000. So which one would you want? $4,500 or $17,000? Y'all let me know. Let's watch.
To you. So Fox News can report exclusively that DHS will announce today that they're going to start paying for the commercial flights of illegal aliens who self-deport from the U.S. And on top of that, they're going to pay them an additional $1,000 stipend once they're confirmed to have left the country. Now, DHS says doing this is going to be significantly cheaper for the American taxpayer. They tell us that right now it costs on average about $17,000 to arrest, detain, and deport someone. They say paying for self-deportations and the stipend will only cost about $4,500 per person. That's about 70% cheaper. Aliens are going to have to register to self-deport on the new CBP Home app to access that DHS financial assistance, as well as announce their intent to leave the country. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem tells Fox in part, quote, "If you are here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, and most cost-effective way to leave the United States to avoid arrest." In the meantime, here in the sanctuary city of Los Angeles, ICE confirms to Fox News that 3 suspects arrested in connection with the home invasion murder of a man in the Woodland Hills neighborhood last Sunday are all in the U.S. illegally.
So there we go. That last piece right there, that's why we're trying to get them up out of here. But of course, the criminals may not want to take $1,000 in self-deportation, but some are going to take it. And if we could save money doing it that way, and of course, we got their data and information in the app. So we're going to know their name. We're going to have biometrics. We're going to have all of that. So if they want to try to come back over, it's like, oh, well, we got you on this right here. So you're doing too much. Now we could just, so I think it's a good idea. What do y'all think? Good idea, bad idea? Y'all let me know. And you got to get the 1,000 after you have left, like verifiably left, not on the way out, but once you're actually gone, you get that. Okay, and that's something else. Carolyn Jones says it's not just $17,000. It's the abuse system within the 7 to 9 year waiting period. Exactly. See, that's the thing about all these things they want to do with, my due process. What they want to do with the so-called due process is prolong the time that they're here. Because if you got to get 21 million on the low end, probably 30 to 40 million people, if you want to get, let's say, again on the low end, 20 million people, a court date, that'll take years to the point where by the time the court date comes, they might even get amnesty. See, that's the thought process that the people have in DC. That's what they want. They want to protect the migrants at any cost because they want to bring back slavery or a form of it, like I was saying before. And like Charlamagne from Brilliant Idiots was talking about, let's build a factory and have the illegal aliens work there. It's like, well, wait a minute. You want to build a factory just for illegals to work. These very low paid jobs that Americans would not want to do for that money. Okay. How is that different than the plantation where you build a place for people to work that are working for a very low wage or no wage? It's the same ideology. Of course, it's executed differently. Ain't nobody getting beat and lynched and stuff like this, but the idea is the same. To get ultra low cost labor and people that are vulnerable, they have no other option. Okay, let's watch some of this. And we could see what their agenda is. They want to bring back slavery.
Yes, sure, it sounds good in theory. Let's manufacture stuff in America, but it costs too much motherfucking money to manufacture things in America. But does it have to?
I don't know if it costs too much.
But that's my point. Does it have to?
I don't think it costs too much. I think that's a convenient lie that they tell us. I think you can manufacture things here. And then people go, a cell phone costs $30,000. He goes, I bet $1 million fucking dollars. $30,000 once you start making it.
That's what I'm saying. Does it have to? They say that, right? Man, it just costs too much to manufacture in America. Does it have to? Why does it?
Well, it costs the companies. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to cost the consumer.
Well, why does it cost the companies?
Because you got to pay people much larger wages than they are getting paid overseas. So if you brought all this manufacturing back to America, like, and it's factory jobs and it's mass production, like, are you going to pay everybody $15 an hour or are you going to pay them $45 an hour?
Well, you know what you do.
$45 an hour to do some of these low skilled jobs, I don't really understand.
You build the manufacturers and stop the deportation. And you take the people that you're deporting and put them in those factories and pay them those low wages.
No, but on the real, part of the problem is
that's kind of slavery. It's not exactly. But
I didn't say anything about slavery.
You didn't say slavery, but that's what it is. That's what it is. You've successfully been able to craft an argument in favor of slavery. That's what you just did, but you didn't even know it. Because you're being taught Democratic Party talking points, but you don't understand where these points come from. You don't understand the history of the Democratic Party. You don't get it. You don't get how the Republicans ended slavery. The very first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln. Freed the slaves. ABL, he didn't want to do it. So what? He did it at the end of the day. Don't tell me shoulda, coulda, woulda, booga. I don't care nothing about none of that. He did it. And what happened? Democrat popped him for it right in the theater.
I'm just saying that you build the factories and you take the people who actually want to work in those factories for those low wages and let them go.
You want to find a way to build a fit this that it can be function here. Simple as that.
But we also have to be real. Americans, for the most part, don't want those jobs.
Stop it. I don't subscribe to that. Stop it. That's bullshit. Bullshit rhetoric.
If they don't, stop deporting the people and let them work.
No,
So there we go. That's what they want in the Democratic Party, just to have these low-paid people to come in and work for next to no money or no money because, and look at this dude's nails. Like, I tell you everything you need to know right there. That's all everything you know right there. You got blue and gold nails anyway. They want these guys and girls to come in and work for no money. That's the bottom line, okay? While the people who live, East Coast, Connecticut, New York City can live high on the hog, luxury lifestyle without doing all the extra stuff. But Americans, the actual Americans, the hard workers, we kind of get pushed to the side in favor of the migrants. We want to work. We want to go do stuff like that. I'll tell y'all my story. My story about Old Country Buffet. I love that job. That job was fun. Doing that, being on your feet a lot, lifting heavy objects. To me, it was fun. I had a good time. But that is because I was a young man and I'm just working and getting money and just doing my thing. We need to have these jobs for younger generation. What are we leaving our children? When you're 16 years old, you should be getting one of these low skilled jobs to get your foot into the door. And the goal is eventually for some people to move up and do different things. But you need to have those jobs available for you as a young person. Because if you don't, what are you going to do when you get to be an adult with no work experience, with no nothing? Okay, you went to college. Okay, you got a degree. Now what you going to do? Work at Starbucks at 25 with a degree in humanities or something like that, paying $1,000 a month in student loan payment that you can't afford? How are you going to be able to launch like that? How are you going to be able to launch? You can't. You have no work experience. You have no degree that makes any difference in the world. No skills, no nothing. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. Yeah, but I don't need to do no factory work now. I'm old. I'm an old man. Okay, Patriot Pete says, go work in the factory. Get off YouTube. Why would I do that? I don't need a job. If I wanted a job, I would go do it. But I don't need a job. I'm 40 years old. I've been there, done that. I done the hard labor, the out in the sun. That's nothing. I already done that. So why would I do it right now? If I needed a job, I would go find a job, and there's plenty of them available. But me right now, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I've worked very hard to get myself to where I am right now today. I have skills. I'm educated. I can do things aside from that. But when I was 16 to like 22, I did the low skill jobs. Starter jobs. If you want to stay in a starter job till you get to be elderly, that's fine. But why do that? All right, so Patriot Pete, don't be stupid. Don't be in here trolling. What do you do for a living? How do you look? Let's see your actual picture. How much do you weigh? Are you a big back? It's always a big back when I talk crazy in the chat. Like, focus on your weight. Focus on that. Don't focus on me. Focus on your weight. Anyway, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And at this age, what I would do is I'll volunteer more before anything else. I volunteer. I wouldn't be spending 40 hours a week working somewhere to get whatever kind of money I was making when I was 16. I feel like if I was making what I made at age 16, now at age 40, I feel like I messed up somewhere in my life. It's like maybe I got locked up. Maybe drugs got a hold of me. Maybe I started drinking. Maybe I was still doing something like that. And then it's like, okay, now I got to come back down to build myself back up. Back in the day at Old Country Buffet, we had guys like that in there. It would be guys that came home from the penitentiary. It was one dude that looked like he could be my uncle or something like this. He comes in straight from the penitentiary. He has a clear plastic bag with his clothes in it. Like, he just got off the bus and walked right in there and got a job. Okay, so that's not me though. I've not smoked crack before. I've not shot anybody before for no reason. So I'm good. Hey, shout out to everybody who has made the right life decisions and has been able to elevate themselves in their life. That's the American dream. Okay. Bald Tire says, I'm a bit back, kind of working heavy equipment. Well, hey, Bald Tire, you probably one of them big, strong guys. The kind of guy that if he hits you in the face, it's going to go numb. Like if you hit me in the face one time with that big fish you got, all of right here from up here to down here is disconfigured and shattered and ruined. So yeah, man, I don't want a problem with your kind of big back. That's not really what I'm here for. Now, Patriot Pete, however, is just fat for no reason. Patriot Pete, I don't need a job. I don't want to work in the factory. I don't want to work in the office. I don't want to work nowhere other than what I'm doing. If I was needing the job, I would go get that job. If I did not have skills that let me do things that are better than that job, I would do it. When I was young, I had no skills. So what do? Go to a low-skilled job like a factory. But if you're a skilled person, why go do that work? You start at a certain place and work your way up. If at 40 years old, you're still flipping burgers at McDonald's and you've been doing it for 25 years, you failed. So let's not be dumb, Patriot Pete. What you should do is focus on your nutrition. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And don't nobody get offended. I'm just playing about Patriot Pete's waistline. But let's get to some calls in a minute. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, the number to call is 706-406-3287. But before we do that, let's look at some super chats. Thank you to the Whitesman for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that, boss. Thank you to Regina the Godmother, who says hello from the Old Lady delegation. Shout out to you. Thank you to Gregortron, who says I'm ready for some ABL. Thumbs up. American flag. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you to Apu Barker, Apuff Daddy, who says opinion on new statue in New York City. A mess. A complete mess. She's looking frumpy and haggard for no reason. Thank you to Apu again, who says, will we ever know Epstein client list arrest? Don't hold your breath on that, man. Don't hold your breath. Because that's a high pay grade situation. If it happens, it's great. But if not, then I didn't really expect for it to happen. But we'll see. Thank you to Dina, who says, great work, hugs from Korea. Thank you to Bot KMIT, who said, lived in a nice trailer park off Campostella when we first moved here. Not bad then, bad now. Yeah, out that way. That's not where you want to be, out Campostella. Thank you to Boomhauer, who says, also, there were a lot of guys that wanted to retire, but COVID hit, and they halted all the retirement. So now all the seasoned people are leaving. That's right. Yep. All the guys that know what they're doing, they're on point. But these guys are leaving. And that's kind of a trend that exists throughout society, where you having skilled tradesmen, skilled employees at a particular job who are retiring. And they're having a hard time being able to fill their shoes with people that are on the same level with them as far as their competency and their abilities overall, to not get stressed out. Because we know how soft people are. People are soft nowadays. So in a high stress job like air traffic control, a lot of guys and girls are not really built for it. So we got to figure out a solution to the problem pretty soon here. We got to figure out a solution right now. They probably going to implement AI in a situation, which is going to be dangerous. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Let's get to the calls. Again, the number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number to call is always in the description. It'll also be right here in the ticker below me on the video on the screen. But let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All right. So I don't know, man. Patriot Pete, you must love it. You must love it here, bro. You've not worked a hard day in your life. I haven't. Oh, okay. That's fine. You can believe what you want. Okay. Rex Rucker says, I was started with both high school fights and didn't back down. Okay. Y'all talking amongst yourselves. Oh, I got to turn that on. Y'all pardon me. Okay, we good now. 706-406-3287. I got a feature that says, do not call when I'm not on the show. There we go. Now we on. 830. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, how you doing, ABL? This is Trucker 0172. I called a few weeks ago and gave you the story about somebody that was supposed to go back to federal work and didn't do it. But anyway, I got a different topic now. Are you there?
All right, I'm here. Go ahead.
Hey, somebody mentioned about your coconut water having mold in it. Did you do anything about that?
No, what she was talking about was there was a brand of coconut water that I don't drink that had mold in it when somebody opened it.
Oh, okay. Because I switched from the carton to the cans, and I ain't got to worry about that no more. Anyway, about the economy, I think we should have American jobs, and if the prices are a little bit higher, we just pay for it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we got to bring back production in general. And if people have employment, they're going to be able to have money to be able to afford things. Also, people need to understand how to spend their money wisely. We have a lot of money in this country, but we waste it on garbage. We waste it on things that we don't need. So I think we need to have the jobs, and we need to have more financial responsibility in this nation.
Yeah, I hear that. And hey, one more point. I want to get your feedback on this. I feel like there's a calm in the country. Like, I'm no longer arguing with my friends and family over COVID-19, BLM, Trump being the president. We're not arguing no more. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe folks can respond in the chat. Are you guys feeling it too? Like there's a calm now?
Well,
what do you think, ABL?
Yeah, for me, I think it's been good. I sense calm. I sense peace. And really, I wasn't really doing too much squabbling with people about this in regular life anyway. But I think overall, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. I don't worry about nothing no more. I don't argue with people. You know, the economy is going good as far as I can tell, at least in my life and the surrounding people around me. So, all right, well, that's all I want to talk about. I want to make sure you had some good coconut water. I'll go back. I'll hang up now and go back and listen to you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Hey, Patriot Pete, give me a call, man. If you want to express yourself, everybody give me a call. 706-406-3287. But yeah, I don't do too much squabbling, arguing with people. I'm not with all that, and nobody got time for that. I'm trying to get this money. 734 line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, yes, my name is Taisha. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm good. So yeah, I just wanted to call in with a comment regarding the whole Cincinnati situation. My friend I was talking to my friend, and she was asking me my thoughts regarding with the I believe his name was Rodney and the father. So I just think it's really a shame how, Black people is trying to gather around, an eye for an eye. Because what if that same police, family go kill a Black person? Now we just got all this racial killing. So I just wanted to comment that I just think it's very awful with the viewpoint that, Black people is on TikTok and Facebook with.
Yeah, it's really crazy because like that whole thing, it won't get anybody anywhere. It's not going to help. And then the craziest part is that his son, I mean, you got the gun, you pointing it at the cop. So it's like, what are you going to do? And if the police don't contain that, you're going to have those kind of people terrorizing other Black people. Because that's ultimately what's going to happen. They're going to go terrorize us. So it's like, okay, you're supporting the guy for shooting the cop, but the cops are the only ones protecting you in your community. Without the cops, you would have complete lawlessness and you'd be even more of a victim. And when the cops aren't there, you're going to beg for them to come back. So this whole thing, I don't support at all.
I definitely agree because the cops is the first one that everybody is calling in the hood. Them same people the same guys that they rallying for is the same guys that everybody is scared of when you walking up the street, having on a ski mask. I never understand when you walking in the store and people got on ski masks at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Right, exactly. If I see something like that, I'm already got my hand on my gun because I know something might go wrong.
Exactly. But that was just my comments, and I love your show.
Well, Well, thank you for your
Have
call.
a good night.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you. All right, great call. But yeah, the people that a lot of times get shot by police, these are the people that the community are afraid of. They're afraid of these people. They don't want to interact with them. The shiesty ski mask over their face, 3 PM. Okay, you got kids, get off the school bus. Here come this dude walking like this, ski mask on, menacing, big gun, switch on the back. He has a stolen car, running from the cops, pull the gun out, pointing at the cop. The cop shoot him. Oh, my baby. And everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, the dad was right to go shoot one of them. Stupidity. Anybody that exhibits stupid behavior, I don't care what color they are. They could be black, white, Puerto Rican, and Kenyan stripe. Any stupid people, I don't associate with. I leave them over there. I leave them over that way. That's how I operate, for sure. The Debos of the world, yeah, pretty much. That's probably a good way to put it from the Friday movie. Yeah, all day long. Yeah, I am not a fan of those kind of people. They can go over there. All right, but a number to call again, 706-406-3287. I see you in a Pooh Shiesty ski mask. The gun's ready. It got one in the chamber. It's ready to rock. Now, for the YouTube censors, for everybody that wanted to flag me, y'all know my guns got lost in a tragic boating accident, so they gone. They've been gone for years. I have no more guns anymore. So I'm just talking. Don't even worry about it. All right, but there we go. Let's go to 513 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. My name's Shelly. I actually live in Cincinnati, Hamilton County, where that happened. Like in between both of the incidents. I mean, I don't know if the people watching think it's relevant or not, but I do. The school that those kids attended was a charter school that was shut down for fraud, okay? The school had more counselors, therapists than it did teachers. Hamilton County, okay, it was a city cop that killed the kid. It was a county cop that was killed by the father. No, I don't condone either one, actually, because in my mind, it's a symptom of a bigger problem. I've lived in Cincinnati for 6 generations. My son is a public school student, and the county alone spends $39,000 per foster child compared to $3,400 per public school student. They have doubled the property taxes in this county for mental health services. And so I looked it up because they also have all these youth employment programs that they claim to serve 15,000 students. That program, they said, maxed out on May 1st. Nobody's getting these services. A poor black child, especially one with a record, is a moneymaker. They're putting bounties on these kids' heads. The crime levels, the murders, the drug rates, I mean, the numbers are all skewed, first off. I mean, you can drive around town, you can tell what's going on. But I personally think it's relevant that these 4 students were promised by the county. It's a city public school, but they were promised by the county to get placed into another school. Parents around here, you do not have control of your children. The public school has 36,000 students. There's 127 nonprofits that have access to these children for mental health, at-risk youth, minority populations, underserved youth, underserved populations. They spent more money on providing legal services to 600 immigrants. I mean, it's insane. I personally think letting all these, they're letting a therapist dog program come into the schools. We don't know who is accompanying these therapy dogs, but they're worded and they'll say, do you not want the kids to have access to therapy dogs? No, because are they getting parents' permission? Why are they billing the taxpayers to provide all these mental health services to these poor kids that have Medicaid when that the nonprofits are just building Medicaid? The cop that died, he has 2 foster kids. That means he's getting his retirement fund, his side job money, and money for the foster kids. No disrespect to him. But I watch the county commissioner meetings, and I think everybody should, because they're creating this crap. Because it's a moneymaker. Now those kids get into the system. Now they have a case plan. Now their entire family has a case plan. I mean, do you see where I'm coming from at all with that?
I'm having a hard time following you. So you're saying that there's some issues going on, but How does it relate to the shooting?
Well, because those kids, right? It was a school day. It was a school day. He was 18 years old. My son's 18. The school they were supposed to be in was shut down because it was a charter school that was shut down because of fraud. It was a school that had more therapists than it did teachers.
I get that part, but how does it relate to the shooting? Because, okay, so if they're not in school, they got to go steal a car and point guns at cops?
Well, no, but, okay, so if the county's saying we're spending this many millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars on these youth programs, yet the crime is still happening, the youth aren't employed, where's the money going? They make money when the youth have a case. I mean, I'm not saying that they can prevent all crime, right? But if we have all these so-called programs and all these so-called services, why are none of the youth able to read? Why are none of them employed? Why are they stealing cars?
Well, really, we can talk about the dad having some criminal issues before, and the dad doing what he did. That points to a criminal mind right there. So you got bad influences from the home. And I always say this, not just in this case, but in all cases, what happens when these kids can't read and they don't care about education is because the parents don't care. If the parents don't care, then the kids don't care. And the teachers can't really do that much. You can have a great teacher. Hold on. I'm almost done. You can have a great teacher or a bad teacher. It won't matter if the home life is bad. But go ahead.
Well, I agree with you about the teachers, but my thing is we are putting mental health ahead of education. The teachers are victims of this as well. Like I said, my son goes to Cincinnati Public Schools. He's also 18. I've dealt with it. I've hired attorneys. I've fought the school, so I know. I'm saying parents also, they don't. When I'm downtown and I'm meeting the poor black moms, right? Because I'm walking downtown too, and I've talked to them, and they're like, I wasn't taught when I went to school. I want my kids to learn. They want their kids to learn, but it's like you're fighting this social worker and that social worker and this program and that service and the commissioners and the counselors, and you know what I'm saying? Like the parents, it's easy to blame the parents and it's easy to blame the teachers when really they're all victims too, because you have all these. When you compare $39,000 per foster child compared to $3,000 per student, that's because they're putting all of them in mental health services and their families, which means the teachers are involved, right? And we're putting special needs kids into these regular classrooms with the typical kids in the city that already have problems at home. So it's confusing them, it's dumbing them down. I mean, it's just a symptom of a bigger problem. I don't condone either one, but I see it a different way. I think we got to stop with this mental health crap because it's driving the kids nuts.
Well, I see what the point that you're making.
I mean, parents, even the poor parents that aren't necessarily smart or educated, believe it or not, a lot of them do value education. Not all of them, but like American families have to jump through all these kinds of hoops just to do something or get anything done. But the immigrants, they're getting a free ride. I mean, I see them. I mean, they have infiltrated the city, and they are celebrated, and they are put ahead of the regular American blacks and whites, rich or poor. We are when you say diverse, you've got neighborhoods where there's one-bedroom apartments around the corner from mansions. That means the doctor had a place to live, and so did his secretary, and life was good. And now it's just crazy. I mean, the kids are and it was the COVID generation, you know? I just think it's a symptom of a bigger problem. I mean, take it for what it is. I don't like it. I live here, and I pay attention. I follow the money. I watch the programs because they're raising the cost of living. There was 3,000 homeless Cincinnati Public School students when the school year started, right? None of them got help, but the immigrants did. But yet and I think it creates division because the richer people are like, I'm paying for you to get this, and I'm paying for you to get that, and the poor people are trying to tell them, we're not getting it.
I got a question. I have a question because I got limited time. So here's my question. Was the education situation and the crime situation the same, better, or worse before the migrants?
You mean with like the shootings and the overdoses and everything?
Like the same kind of thing that happened here with the cop getting shot. That same kind of thing, the shootings, just the crime in general, and also the education system as far as black kids not being educated properly. Was all of that?
Well, it ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows, but The immigrants created more poverty, and poverty breeds crime. I can say that.
Okay. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I mean, I don't buy the whole thing about money helping with school. That ain't, because I've covered it before. First of all, y'all know me. I come from like poor area, black area, 100% black area in school, and I know how to read and everything just fine. It don't take that much money to teach a kid how to read. It don't take much money at all. It don't take nothing. I remember my first preschool, I was in this lady's house, this black lady house. It was a Christian preschool. It was a bunch of us sitting in a circle in their living room. Small little house. It was a bunch of kids just in a circle. I'm probably about 3 years old, maybe. We learned it right there. We're in a room in her house, small house. We're learning like that. How much money does it take to teach kids how to read? Okay, my mom, Sesame Street, she got flashcards, and we in the hood. How much money does it take to teach kids? It don't take no money. It takes effort. It takes people that care. It takes people that have a little bit of brain power themselves. That's what it takes. Now, as far as the migrants, y'all know I don't like the migrants, but that's not the problem. Whether the migrants are here or not, that boy was going to steal that car and take his gun and point it at the cop. I'm from a hood environment. I knew, hey, don't be playing with guns, whether it's a BB gun or not, don't do it. And that was not a BB gun. They had a real gun. I knew right from wrong. I knew what to do even in the hood environment. If these kids choose to do the wrong thing, these adults, 18 years old, if they do the wrong thing, that's on them. I can't blame the schools. I can't blame the county. I can't blame money. I can't blame the migrants. It's them that did it. They did it. The parents can say, oh, my baby, whatever. They say all that stuff talking about, yeah, I want them to learn. Meanwhile, they ain't checking no report cards. They send their child to school at 5 years old with no skills at all. The kid can't read. The kid can't count. The kid can't color. The kid can't do anything except for recite all the latest rap songs. They could do that all day long. They could play on their cell phone. They could find your credit card on your cell phone and buy stuff on Amazon. They could do that all day long, but they can't read. They can't write. They can't draw. They can't count. They can't tie their shoes. That's the parents' fault, period. I don't hear nothing about them. Nah. Because I'm a product of that. So I know what it takes. Both of my grandparents, school teachers, I know what it takes. My dad, master's in education, I know what it takes. The money argument, I'm getting triggered. I'm triggered. So I digress. But I appreciate her giving her point of view from what she said, from what she sees. I get it. I understand. But I don't agree. But I respect her for her point of view. 412, you don't know who I'm speaking to. Oh, I guess I was a little late on that one. But yeah, that's how I feel. The parents, that's going to be the number one thing. Period. Parents. In the hood, out of the hood, whatever. Parents. If the parents don't really care, if they're not going to that next level to prepare their children, the kids are going to be at a loss. They're going to suffer. We say, oh, school to prison pipeline, the little black kids, they go to school right next to the white kids. The white kids are fine. The Asian kids are fine. The Hispanics do all right. But the whites and the Asians do so well. The Jews do so well. How about them black kids? It's because the parents prepare them better than our parents. You're online speaking to 203.
Hey, ABL.
What's happening?
How are you, sir? Good to talk to you again. We were just talking last night. The honor of truth here. The lady you were just on the phone with, I just couldn't follow either. So don't feel bad because I couldn't follow what she was saying really. But 100%, it comes from within the home. Within the home, the environment. You know, we were just talking about the alphas in the family. You know, whether the parents the father's not in the home. There should be somebody at church. There should be somebody in the school. There should be a coach. There should be somebody that's going to stand up for these young men and these these times that we're living in. But I wanted to touch base also. I wanted to talk to you about what you were talking. Really funny. I don't know if you saw it in the chat or not, but that statue in the center of, I think that's New York. I think that's is that Times Square? Was that?
I'm not sure, but I did see the statue.
Well, that statue that you were talking about earlier, yeah, it's called the statue of, instead of the Statue of Liberty, is the Statue of Liberal, is what it is. The Statue of Liberals. I mean, I don't know. That's so crazy. They would put up that statue there, taking down all the other statues and putting up these. I mean, it's pointless. I don't understand. And the other thing was the robots. We were just talking about the robots. How they were glitching out these Waymo cars. That's so. I would never get into anything that I could not control. And we saw a video where the Waymo cars in LA, they were like stuck in the middle of everything, in the middle of the road, and then the little delivery cars that go, that I don't know, they remote them or whatever from. It was the funniest thing. And it's like all these things are glitching all over the place. I would never, ever, ever. I think it's so dangerous. Could you imagine those robots going haywire and just start grabbing people by their necks or something? I don't know. Anyways, I talked enough. I know I like to talk a lot. I'll talk to you next time, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys as well. The number to call, 406, hold on, 70. Let me get it right. 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description, also in the ticker. And I saw that comment earlier. How many kids ABL got again? Please stop. Please stop, man. Like, let's not even do that, man. Let's not even do that. Let's not even do that. I'm a hood kid. I understand how to operate in the hood environment, how to succeed. And a better teacher than experience. 585, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
All right, what's happening?
Not much, man. I just want to see how you're doing.
It's all good, boss. No complaints.
Good. Yeah. I just got to the live. I mean, what you been talking about? Like, what are some issues I guess you've been talking about or haven't talked about yet?
Well, anything political, man. Anything that's on your mind, you can just let me know. But if you just wanted to call and say what's up, you can do that. And I could just, move on to the next caller.
Oh yeah, that sounds good, man. Yeah, I'll come back next time when I actually watch the rest of the live.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah. Good night.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Let's go to unknown caller. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
The guy that calls in sometimes.
All righty, what's happening?
I noticed that since I was in grade 3, these teachers, typically unionized, they use kids as a stepping stone. They use kids as a hostage-taking tool for leverage, like a teeter-totter with a leverage point. They always come with that generic line. They wait just long enough for people to forget. Every 7 years or so, they go on strike and they go, oh, we can help your kids to learn to read and do arithmetic and writing, but we need more money. Every time, they always chalk it up to we need more money. But like you said, and like I've been saying for over 2 decades, it doesn't take much to read or to have someone teach something of interest, something with a bit of intensity. And sometimes it may not be interesting at first, but once you learn a new skill or learn something while reading, then you exercise new parts of your brain. Now, I know they say whenever there's trouble, look towards the money. But in this case, it's just straight up greed and malignant narcissism, because when you study narcissism with all the cancers in our society, from economical terrorists to economical refugees who are users and abusers, and that's not just because it rhymes. It's actually true. You guys have been watching this for the past couple of years now. Well, enough is never enough for them. Enough is never enough. They get shared in hotels. They get so many free beds that when they don't like one, they throw it away. They get. I know one person who told me they got 5 beds. They threw it away. Why? Oh, I didn't like it. But if you had to pay for it, you wouldn't be throwing it away. Some people sleep without a bed, couch, TV, cable. Meanwhile, these last arrivals, they get free flat screen TV, free cable television, free iPhone. What? Free iPhone? That's not free. When y'all hear brought to you by the government of whatever, it's actually your money, not the government. It's your money that's paying for them to be put in front of you like it's 1959, go to the back of the bus all over again. What's that chick in the middle of the bus? The one who refused to get up? Rosa Parks, where they come last but get treated first, and you wait first but get treated last. I'm sick of it. People are only now catching on. It's such a shame that it took so long to see that we're being bamboozled and hoodwinked. That's your money. We may not get a pension. Generations of us may not get a pension because our money is going to Ukraine, China, I guess Africa, to count how many poops are on the floor. Actually, that was discovered. The whole heap of money of waste. Charity starts at home. They're getting more than us and more than we would ever be ashamed to ask for, and that's our money that our parents worked for and slaved for. So all this mismanagement, I had an idea of DOGE. I used to tell my friends for 5 years strong, I said, I know where to go and I know what to do. We don't need all these refugees. Economical refugees. They're fraudsters, by the way, and anchor baby droppers who'll be getting paid $700 in some places, $700 per baby. They get paid $80,000 to $90,000 to choose to come to our country. That's a problem. We play a scratch and lose tickets every month if we were to try, and we wouldn't win that kind of money. Now you're paying them to get out of your backyard, front yard, side yard? No, take them up by their ears, empty their bank account, and kick their backside out. Hook them up to a rocket light and say, okay, sayonara. You want communism? Go to North Korea. Try China. We're sick of them, man. They're the problem, not the solution. And to reward bad behavior, bro, hire me. Pay me that money. Pay me that money as a headhunter fee. 1,000 whatever bucks. I'll gladly go get rid of them. In my country, I can't get a job. Why? I'm not ugly enough. I'm not ethnic enough, I'm told. I said, but wait, who fought for the rights? It was my generation. He said, yeah, but you need to have broad nose, bigger lips. I'm like, what? And nowadays, you got to also have a name that you can't pronounce because then they meet their quota. They think they're going to go to heaven if they hire people who can't speak English, who are unqualified, which lowers your standards, damages your country, and they cost more money. Every person I call today to ask about Maya de Cinco de Mayo, it's an East Indian who can't speak English. They don't know where they are. What's your intersection? I don't understand. I'm sorry, the wrong accent, but I don't understand. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of them. Don't people in our own country need jobs? The answer is unequivocally yes. So it's bullshit crap that, those are jobs you wouldn't want. Bro, I've in the past applied to the donut shop, and every donut shop you go, China there, Asian here, Asian there, and they're not going to hire you and I. In fact, when you see them, they push you out. They give all the hard, heavy lifting jobs to you until you give up and drop out, and they only rehire Filipinos. Chinese only hire Chinese. Filipinos only hire Filipinos. Pakistanians only hire Pakistanians. You have to be blind not to see that, and that within itself is racism or discrimination when they don't even hire people in the community while they be talking about community this, community that. All these people talking in the past 15 days about well, I can't quote exactly what point me out, but
we got hold on. I'm gonna cut you off, but we got time constraints. Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. They're hypocrites, bro.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. All righty. I was struggling to stay with my man, but shout out to my man for calling. All righty. Good caller, good energy. And if you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, do all that good stuff. 623, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Logan, my name is Jason.
All righty. What's happening?
I'd like to know what your favorite video game is.
Like all time?
All time. Any console.
Mario 64 and 64.
You got it, dude. You nailed it.
Right on.
Have a good night, Mr. Logan.
All right. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, Mario 64 on the N64. I remember when that first came out, man. I was like, how old was I when that came out? I might have been like 12. 1996. I was 12. Oh my goodness. When that came out, it was a game changer. Absolute game changer. It was crazy. The graphics, 404, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Mr. Anthony. This is Kiwan. I'm calling from Atlanta. And I wanted to just talk about something that you were speaking about last week that I wasn't able to get in. You were talking about student loan repayments. So I just wanted to encourage people who maybe, like have children or whatever, who may be considering college. I think it's a great idea to go to technical school and maybe get a trade. Like we talked about, maybe like paralegal studies and like different medical assistant type jobs or medical trainings like respiratory therapy, those types of jobs, x-ray techs. But if you want to go to college, just go to technical school first, and then you can work your way through 4-year school while you have a technical degree, which would, provide a great salary for you so you don't have to get into debt and complain on the internet about not being able to repay your student loans. So that's all I wanted to say. And that the African guy at the beginning of the show that you showed, and you also did a video separately about the man who was, combating the people who were protesting. I guess this was in California. He's right. You have to respect where you live if you want to do well in that country. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. Great call. Great call. Because you know what? One thing I know about these trades, these skills like nursing, we said that before on the show, that's probably one of the best trades you can get in as a woman, especially. I know so many nurses and they are all doing pretty well. Okay. I got cousins, a bunch of cousins that's nurses. I got friends, like a lot of people I know are nurses and they do well for themselves. They do very well. They're not worried about finding work, and they're always going to have work. Always, because that's the thing that's always going to be in demand, especially since we get more of these big backs in the nation. Hey, the more big back you get, that's more job security for the nurses. They're never going to run out of nurses, or they're never going to run out of a demand for nurses as long as we keep being sick in this nation, especially. But seriously, healthcare, that's a good field to be in. It's a good skill to have. It's transferable. You can travel to different countries if you need to. Different states, you can easily go pick up work as a nurse. So I'm a proponent of nursing as a field to get into, and also other kind of skilled trades, HVAC, plumbing. And I kind of feel like a broken record when I say that, but it's the truth. Get into a skilled trade and don't spend an arm and a leg on college if you're not really sure what you're going to get into. If you're going to go to college, it needs to make sense. You need to have a game plan. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to get into a certain field. I'm going to network with certain guys, make connections. That's what I did when I was in college. I made connections. The biggest thing I got from college was from the community college, because I made a bunch of connections there, met a lot of lifelong friends. I learned my skill I needed to learn, which was video editing, the Photoshop, all of that. I had no skill in that before I went. They taught me that skill. So within 2 years, I was straight. I had what I needed, and I had no debt. Now, I went to a 4-year college after that, thinking it'd be a step up, but it was kind of whack. I kind of wasted a little bit of money, but I didn't spend too much money. Either way, I made a bunch of good decisions for my career and for my future. You know, like my man said earlier, well, you don't want to work in the factory, do you, lazy bum? You don't want to work in the factory, you're a hypocrite. You work the hard days working all your life. You don't own no work boots, boy. They do earlier. It's like, man, come on. Like, since I've been a young guy, I've been working, going hard, and making the correct decisions, which is what it's all about in America. That's what it's all about. You know, my great-grandfather was a coal miner. He did that, so I don't got to do that. He did that, so I don't got to do that. If you're a coal miner now, shout out to you. It's hard work. 4 miles under the mountain, digging up the coal back in the day the way you used to do. Now, if I wanted to do that, I could, but what would I? Since my grandparents, all of them already did it. They set it up to where I'm able to get educated, where I'm able to have my mother educate me properly, my father educate me properly, and now I go to school with the correct mindset. When I was in school, in the hood, I would get straight A's because I already had education from my house. Straight A's, easy, no effort, effortless straight A's. If I got a bad grade, if I got a B, my mom's like, yo, you all right? You okay? What's going on? I'd be in school bored. I challenge myself. So now, even still, I still try to learn something every day. I still try to educate myself every single day and figure out a way to improve all the time. Alrighty. Yeah, black lung, all of that. Yeah. Yep. But my great-grandfather did that for a long time. He didn't, I don't know if he had black lung or not, but back then they were built differently because he lived to be like in his 80s. So, hey, if he had black lung, blue lung, green lung, I guess he was still okay afterward. Now, I seen other family where it wasn't quite the same way. And the craziest part that I think the cigarette smoke hurt a lot of people more than the coal dust, which is crazy. But hey, what do you do? What do you do? Chris Roberts says YouTube is a great teacher. Why we should fire teachers and put the kids on learning YouTube? Well, I think it's good to have YouTube as a supplement to education, but I think it's also good to have teachers, especially for young kids. Yeah, when you like early tender years, you need to have that education from your parents, obviously at home before you go to school, and also at school to learn some of your basic how to write properly, how to read properly, reading comprehension. A lot of people have not really learned reading comprehension. They can read something and then not even really know what it says. So I think that's an issue that they need to really try to figure out. Okay, my college major, graphic design, because that's what I wanted to do. So graphic design for business, which would be a Bachelor of Fine Arts, but I didn't get my bachelor's degree. All I have is an associate's degree. And I've been self-employed since I've been 20 years old, right around 20, 21 years old. So 20 years self-employed. And I've been doing pretty well. You see my house. This is just my upstairs room. I've been doing pretty good for myself. All right, but that's going to be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. If you could not get on tonight, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. But I'll be back live again Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. You guys, please subscribe to me on all my platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that good stuff. All my links will be in the box. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And of course, y'all know I'm on the Rumbles. I am on Rumbles. If you want to go over there and support me, you could do so. Check it out. We got the videos right over here. I put Trump in the ice jacket on southern border. Hey, that right there is an AI picture, if you couldn't tell. I thought it was pretty good. My prompt was draw President Trump wearing an ice vest on the southern border in front of the border wall. And that's what it gave me. So I think it did a pretty good job. So shout out to AI. That's what I use AI for, really, image generation for thumbnails. And I try to make it to where it's something that's kind of obvious. Like it doesn't look to be too realistic. Like I'm trying to, fool you or anything like that. But everything, all my links, podcasts, social media, everything will be in the description. Alrighty. And I got some super chats right here. I'll read them right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Also, thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Couldn't do it without you. Alrighty. So Boomhauer, I read there earlier talking about there's a lot of guys that wanted to retire when COVID hit, but they halted it. And now a lot of these guys are leaving since the coast is clear. Thank you to Slenderella Charmer, who says, if you look around your house and out into your driveway and you see items worth more money than you have in the bank, you're a poor fool. Reminds me of ABL Words of Wisdom. Great show. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. And I think that will be a wrap for me. Boomhauer says, do you have to buy all that AI stuff? That's a good question. Now with Twitter, Grok, their AI comes with the Twitter Premium, which is like $8 a month. Now, it might be free. I'm not sure. Is Grok free? I have the paid Twitter, but I don't really pay for Twitter because you can make money on Twitter from your tweets. I don't make much money over there. I don't post there to make money. I might make $30 a month on Twitter, which is nothing, but it covers the cost of the actual feed that I pay to be on Twitter with the verification and all that. So it pays for the grok too. So I pay $8, but I don't pay $8 because I make enough money to cover it. There's also Venice. Venice is a good one. You have a free version of Venice and a paid version of Venice. So you can't use it for free, but if you want to do a lot more stuff and more prompts in the day, you got to pay. Yeah, you got to pay. I also use Grok to do some research on stories. So let's say, for example, I'm like, okay, what's today's trending stories? I can ask it that question and it'll give me a list. It's similar to Googling, but a little bit more summarized. So I don't know. It's a tool that needs to, it's a tool to be used. It's the same kind of way back in the day when I was a kid. If I had a question about something, I got to go to the library. I got to go to the encyclopedia. I got to go to the Dewey Decimal System and look and find a book that has the answer in it. But now I got my phone. Everything's right here. I could just type and it pops right up. Then you add AI on top of that. You can do that a lot easier and a lot more simply. The problem with the advent of technology is people still need to be educated properly in traditional ways, because a lot of kids nowadays cannot add 1 + 1, but they can get on their phone and do everything. But if you can't add 1 + 1, then you're still going to be kind of lost because you don't have the basic knowledge. You don't have the basic understanding. Also, when it comes to human interaction, people don't know how to act. They have no idea how to act. It's weird. They're all over the place. They crash out for no reason. They big backs, don't know how to eat, stink. I'm seeing commercials for body deodorant. Like they got commercials where it's a lady putting a deodorant on her stomach. It's like, since when did your stomach start stinking? People are losing some of their basic skills because technology has become so popular. They rely upon that and don't take time to still be human beings and learn basic things that you have to learn as a human being. So yeah, AI is cool, but please do not lose your humanity. Please, please, I beg. NKM says Brave browser has free AI. Now, here's something else though, NKM. I've not used Brave browser's AI, but not all AI is the same. Some of these AIs are kind of janky, and a lot of it is not what you think. A lot of it is just software that's programmed by people. So there's limitations. You ask certain things in the AI, it ain't going to tell you, depending upon what you use, because there's blocks put in there by the programmers. It's not, you're not talking to Terminator or RoboCop. It's not fully autonomous. It's like software. Now, if it does become fully autonomous, you got a problem. If AI becomes fully autonomous, which it might be already, you got a big problem. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Shout out to you guys for being here. I will see y'all again next time. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.